Artem Laguta took to the top step of the podium and his first ever World Championship win as the season finally got underway in Wroclaw, Poland. Due to the COVID pandemic, it had been a long wait for the start of the GP series for riders, mechanics and fans alike. There was plenty of tension in the air, along with great expectations of a hard-fought series. But once the tapes went up, it was business as usual as our warriors of shale got down to racing. Laguta started well, not dropping a point until his fifth ride. He was simply sensational. Local hero and Wroclaw rider Maciej Janowski too. He had speed and both riders were soon in contention for the latter stages of the event. Despite a crash, Ty Woffinden picked himself up. He too would reach the final, where he'd be joined by Sweden's Freddie Lindgren, who, under the new point system, he really benefited superbly after only managing 7 points to get there. So it worked well for Fast Freddie all the way through to the final. Laguta made no mistake, cashed in and got 20 Grand Prix points to lead the series going into round two. A wonderful performance from the Russian. No wonder he was celebrating with his pit crew.
I'm very happy today with very good track and my bike, this is very fast. Yeah, my first win Speedway Grand Prix. I'm very happy. Thank you, my team, my family, my son, Adam.
So with the new championship system of allocating points to where you finished on the night, it means Artem Laguta leads on 20, followed by Maciej Janowski on 18, 16 to Lindgren, and Woffinden 14 points for fourth. With the new season being condensed over 6 weeks and 8 rounds, we remain in Wroclaw for round two. Then it's to Gorzów, Prague, and we round off in Torun in the first weekend of October. Hi there, welcome along to the Olympic Stadium in Wrocław for round two of the FIM World Speedway Championship. Kelvin Tatum, MBE, alongside me. Looking forward to the action. Let's just do a quick reminder, a quick refresher of the point system, of course. This is after the Heat 20, then we have the semi-finals. 9 points and 10 points, 11 and 12, and then the final itself is allocated 14 points, 16, 18 and 20 for the winner. A lot of debate over that system, Kel, but I'm sure we'll be talking about that for the rest of the series.
We will be, and there was no question that over social media overnight, there's been plenty of debate about it, and some people in favour, I think quite a lot of people against it. With what happened with Freddie Lindgren, that did seem to be, he capitalised massively after a pretty indifferent night. But we've got a brand new night of Speedway. We've got plenty of action ahead. We've got riders ready for heat number one on the back-to-back Grand Prix for the first time. It's not new, of course. We've had Speedway of Nations, which have been run over 2 days, and at this track 2 years ago, we saw the Russians come through and win their first gold medal. But Martin Vasilik there, looking for a little bit more speed tonight. He had a pretty solid night with 9 World Championship points, finishing 8th last night. But Jason Doyle there coming out on track for his opening ride this evening, the former world champion. He's looking to really come on strong tonight. You can ill afford to have back-to-back Grand Prix where you fail to score the points. He needs a big one tonight.
He does indeed. Jason Doyle from Australia. Real tough lineup. What a lineup for the first race. Maciej Janowski,
yeah, brilliant.
Jason Doyle and Martin Vasilik is a tremendous lineup. So this is the moment where the boys test different setups, look at their bikes.
Well, there's been plenty of rain overnight, we're hearing, and the track will be different from last night as a consequence of that. Cooler temperatures, the moisture in the surface. You can see that it's a dull surface, so there is the moisture in it. And Martin Vasilik has already changed his bike, and he's looking to go on the second one. Doyle there, just having a dig around, getting a feel for the start line.
Heat number one is coming up then in Wrocław. Here we go with the first race of the night then. Maciej Janowski off the inside gate in red. Runner-up last night, of course, Leon Madsen, world number 2, goes off gate 2 in blue. Jason Doyle, big night needed for him off gate number 3 in white, and off the outside in yellow, Martin Vasilik. Kelvin Tatum, MBE, alongside me. Kelv, looking forward to round 2. There was some super racing last night.
Yeah, super opening round of the World Championship last night, and there's no question that we had to wait a long time for it, but it delivered in fine style, and Artem Laguta coming through in flying colours. Leon Madsen just missing out on the final. He's out here in the opening race. Maciej Janowski, the hometown boy, finishing second last night. A strong showing from him with the analyst tyre on. Can he produce the goods again here this evening? He's off the inside gate. A handy place to be in Heat 1.
Yep, top 8 scorers after 20 races go through to the semi-finals. Nothing new there. That was a real flyer from Martin Vasilik, and it looks very much as though the race is allowed to continue. Jason Doyle has the lead, Martin Vasilik is second, and now Maciej Janowski comes through. Madsen is at the back here. Track's a lot different to last night, clearly, but Doyle riding beautifully, and he's got the riders all over him now.
He won his last race last night. He's picking up where he left off. He's hit the front. This is exactly what he needed. He's made a smashing start from gate number 3, and he's out in front. They're queuing up behind him, though. He hasn't got enough speed coming off the corner. Janowski's coming on strong, slips up the inside. Heat number 1. Oh! Clambering all over each other. Now he runs in the back of him. Doyle absolutely determined to hang on to the first place, but Janowski's not done yet. Brilliant speedway.
Yeah, Janowski has got a lot of speed. He does seem to be a little bit quicker than Doyle. He's going to try the outside run now, the home hero. He's got so much speed. Doyle clamps the inside line. Here comes Janowski. What a move. So late in the race, he finally gets there. Janowski wins it. Jason Doyle second, Martin Vasilik third, and Leon Madsen at the back. And what a wonderful, wonderful race to open up round 2 of the FIM Speedway Grand Prix Series, Kel.
Well, you can't get any closer than that. They were almost sat on each other's bikes there on the third lap as they went through the first and second corner. And Janowski had speed to burn there. Doyle was working so hard out in front. He'll be really frustrated that he wasn't able to hang on to the win. A much improved start, though. There was a question. Look, I can't believe the Krista Gardell. Well, maybe he realised that Martin Vasilik actually penalised himself because he moves very early. We were both surprised that the red light didn't come on.
But he was in contention coming out of turn 2, Kel.
Yeah, so it was slightly odd that Gardell didn't put the red lights on, but in some ways I'm pleased he didn't, because it was a hell of a race between Janowski and Doyle, and Janowski flying out in front.
So much speed. Maciej Janowski, one of the top 2 last night, who were both on Anlers tyres. And by the way, we are hearing Vasilik has received a warning.
Oh, well, no surprise.
For his conduct at the start line there, but every rider had the opportunity to use an Anlers tyre. Of course, mainly it's Mitas, but Maciej Janowski and Artem Laguta in the top 2 last night are on Anlers tyres.
You see him move early there, but Doyle then actually capitalises, and he gets that bike to drive forward, nice out of gate number 3, hug to the inside, charges down the back straight, covers the move from Vasilik, but he cannot stop the run from Janowski. He tries there. I mean, crikey, that is so tight. Then they clip each other coming out of the corner. That could have got ugly there. They really could have got hooked up there. The footrest could have gone underneath Jason's bike, and they could have gone down really in quite a heap, but fortunately they don't. He switches to the outside with Doyle giving him racing room. Fair racing from Jason Doyle. They're hard but fair. But the speed from Janowski was just irresistible. Look at that. Coming out of that last corner, what a wonderful feeling that is. Smashing ride.
Great opening race in Wroclaw tonight then for round 2 of the FIM Grand Prix World Championship. It's a 2020 Betard Wroclaw FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland, round number 2. And of course, we move on to Gorzów in a couple of weeks' time on the Friday and the Saturday for another double header of action. We're up to heat number 2 here now. Here's Niels Christian Iversen in white, who's had all those injury problems this season. Had signed for Peterborough back in the UK before the UK season, or the league season in the UK, was cancelled because of the pandemic. Gleb Chuganov goes off the inside the wild card here. Mikkelsen goes off gate number 2 in blue. His fellow Dane Niels Christian Iversen is off gate number 3. And then it's Max Frick, who found life tough here last night. He is off the outside once again. He's a Wroclaw rider in the X-Liga, Max Frick. He's off the outside gate here. Running into that first turn, that's a smart start from Gleb Chuganov and a clever switch up the inside from Mikkelsen. And that was a lovely move, the way he switched up the inside. Mikkel Mikkelsen in the blue helmet colour. And now Chuganov is going to try the outside run. The man in third is Max Frick, with Niels Christian Iversen at the back. Chuganov's not done yet, though, Kelv.
He's not, but it was a very clever move there from Mikkelsen. He read it beautifully, and he was able to get himself to the front. The ideal start for his evening, no doubt about that. Once again, Iversen finding it tough. He's out the back, and Frick, of course, who is a home rider, just not at the races, with Iversen, the more experienced man, coming through into third place. But for Mikkel Mikkelsen, of course, he was European champion last season. He's in to replace Martin Smolinski, the German, a permanent replacement this year, of course. This is more like it from him.
Lovely switch up the inside. I'm sure he learnt how to do that at Arlington at Eastbourne during his British career. Maybe not, but it was a lovely move. Clever switch up the inside. And Mikkel Mikkelsen has done a great job there. He wins heat number 2, and that's a valuable 3 points for him.
It is indeed. He will be chuffed to bits with that, and the ideal way to start.
Yeah, Chuganov looked good there, but Mikkelsen spotted the opportunity, read the race well, and that's a sign of a rider with a good racing brain as well, I'd suggest.
Yeah, a little bit more experience.
Now, Mikkel Mikkelsen, the winner. Gleb Chuganov was second. Niels Christian Iversen was third, and Max Frick at the back. His tough campaign continues here in Wroclaw, his home Polish track, of course, Max Frick. But well done, Mikkel Mikkelsen, the Dane. Many people saying he was unlucky not to be in the series this year from the off.
I agree with that. We're going to have a look at the start. Chuganov is great on the inside there, but just runs that little bit wide coming off the corner, and Mikkelsen just a bit more patient, allowed that to happen, and then pounced as they went down the back straight. Let's look at it again. All pretty much even Stevens as they enter that first corner, a very level break. But Mikkelsen there just coming off the inside, taking a slightly shorter route down that back straight. That works well for him. He stays there, wins comfortably. Iversen working hard, Max Frick and himself having a battle for the solitary point. And the Danish man coming out on top there for Mikkel Mikkelsen. Well, that's a much better start to the night. And he's a confidence rider. If his confidence gets up, I think we will see a much improved performance from him. And we need a much improved performance from this man on screen. There's no doubt that Dudek will be looking for a lot of points this evening.
He will indeed. It's looking to bounce back from last night after the relative disappointment of his form last night. Here's Lindgren, the big winner last night, if you like, from a position of 7 points going into the semi-finals. You're fortunate to qualify for the semis on 7 points as it is. But with the new point scoring system, he really cashed in.
It was unbelievable, really, when you reflect on what happened to him last night.
Lindgren, Dudek, the reigning champion Smarslik, and Antonio Limbach, who only managed a point last night. He's looking to get a vast improvement to his form this evening, Antonio.
He's found it tough this year, and the Extraliga points have not been coming easily for him, so he's got to turn it around, and soon. We've said many times that you've got to get off to a strong start this year. Back-to-back Grand Prix, he can ill afford a similar performance this evening. Here we go.
Yes, heat number 3 is where we're at. Bartosz Smarslik in the white helmet colour, the reigning champion. A very nervous, edgy start once again there, and Lindgren has made it. That's a superb start from Lindgren. Just loses a bit of control there. Dudek's all over him, and now here comes Smarslik. The two Polish boys will try and hunt down fast Freddie Lindgren. He's got the lead here, the Swede, riding beautifully from Dudek, from Smarslik, and from Limbach.
Yeah, Freddie there, sharp away from the inside. Dudek looks like he's got some speed, though. He's hanging around. Smarslik just beginning to get dropped. Once again, not showing fantastic speed, but Freddie, once he gets to the front, he's a very difficult man to pass. He's ruthless out there. Out in front, the Swede, Lindgren, looking good. Fast tonight. Dudek, much more competitive. He'll be pleased with this. Certainly looking like he's right on the pace. Smarslik and Antonio Limbach getting dropped in third and fourth. Good ride from Lindgren.
Well, you called it, Kel. The Dudek and Doyle needed a good start tonight after their performance last night. And, yep, second places so far for those two. But for Freddie Lindgren, 3 big points. He only managed 7 from his 5 rides last night.
Good start.
But he's well on the way this evening. Really made a good start from Dudek. Smarslik, the reigning champion, only a point to his name in heat number 3. So he's got to try and step it up a level or two. And Dudek charging hard. He looked the more likely to challenge Lindgren there early from the 2 Polish boys.
He's got a puncher actually there, just pulled up after the start, so very fortunate to have won the race. And he'll be pleased that the air didn't come out of that tyre just a few seconds earlier, so it just about hangs on. See Dudek there, gets away nicely, but he's a bit untidy as he enters the first corner, runs wide, and that allows Freddie Lindgren then to dictate. I thought Schmarzlik here was really going to get amongst it, but didn't have the pace at all. Doesn't make a great getaway, Schmarzlik, the world champion. I think he kind of misses it. A reason why is because Antonio Lindbeck's rolling. An untidy start, no doubt, but no red light, so we continue. Dudek certainly
Lindbeck has got a warning, Kelv, just to confirm that.
Yeah, and absolutely rightly so, because he rolled on the start. But a good ride from Lindgren in front.
Yes, he was. So Lindbeck has a warning now already in his opening ride. And that was confirmation of the result. And Freddie Lindgren with a puncture.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit of help going back to the pits there.
I tell you what, he's got luck at the moment, hasn't he? It worked out last night, and his first ride here this evening, a puncher coming out of the last corner, and he's just got enough to get over the line. But the talk of the town is out here this evening. Now in heat number 4, Artem Laguta, who was sensational last night. It was top draw speedway from Artem Laguta last night. Can he reproduce that this evening?
Speedway out of the top draw?
Speedway out of the top draw. He was immaculate, wasn't he? He was clean, class personified.
Oh, I've missed that so much. Looking forward to your social media with pictures of people putting speedway bikes in their top drawer in their bedroom.
Yes. Yes, so do I. I think it's great. But he was great last night.
He was, absolutely.
He's got quite a handy heat.
Yeah, it's not a bad lineup, is it? The Grand Prix Challenge winner, Mati Zagar. You've got Emil Sayfutdinov, his fellow Russian, Artem's fellow Russian, just to clarify. And you've got Tai Woffinden off gate number 3 in white, the 3-times world champion. And then outside is Artem Laguta for heat number 4. After this race, then, every rider will have completed one outing of this second round of the Grand Prix Speedway Series in Wroclaw, the Olympic Stadium, the iconic venue where Gary Havelock won his world title in 1992. I was at the stadium for that. It absolutely threw it down with rain. It was so heavy.
Yeah.
They paused the meeting and the local fire brigade had to pump water off the track. And then it was baking after that.
It was indeed.
And Javi was brilliant.
He was sensational that evening, and won the World Championship on his debut. Here we go, heat number 4.
Heat number 4 it is. And away from the start, no problems this time. Oh. And it's a great start from Artem Laguta for gate number 4. Here we go again. Charges round the outside of Zagar. Woffinden is third, and Sayfutdinov battling hard as well. They're all bunched up, the 3 behind Laguta. He's owning this race already. He's got it all under control. He is completely on top form, on top of his game, riding brilliantly as Woffinden tries the inside run.
Oh,
here comes Emil Sayfutdinov around the outside now. What a move!
Second, third and fourth, it's all there because Artem Laguta is in a class of his own. Wonderful start from the outside and has cleared off. Sayfutdinov now makes it a Russian 1-2 by coming through into second place. Woffinden having to work overtime to get the better of Mati Zagar. Super move from him, but Artem Laguta sensational.
Laguta wins the race. No, it's the last lap. Laguta sensational, charging forward. I can't count. I told you we were rusty. Laguta riding beautifully here. He's carving up the opposition again. So dominant. And again, the question has to be asked tonight. Over 4 laps, wins the race. The question has to be asked again.
Artem Laguta won that race twice, people.
Yeah.
He won it on the 3rd and the 4th lap. 61.9, that's got to be the fastest time.
Absolutely, and that's for 4 laps, isn't it?
It was for 4 laps. For
brilliant.
3 laps, it was less, wasn't it?
Love it,
but there we are.
But what a move from Sayfutdinov as well. A Russian 1-2.
Brilliant.
In heat number 4 with Woffinden third. So the winners so far, Lindgren, Janowski, Laguta and Mikkelsen.
Well, he's just in dynamite form, isn't he? He's just looking unbeatable and makes such a wonderful start. When you spoke to Greg Hancock in the Talking Dirt program, he was saying that he was watching how, he was sitting on the bike and the way his throttle control was, and he certainly got it absolutely spot on. Bike set up perfect, and there's no doubt that he's roaring away out in front. Certainly, Emil Sayfutdinov rides very strongly here and gets the opportunity to come sweeping around the outside to follow his compatriot through, making it the Russian 1-2, and the Russians are flying like rockets in their opening gambit here, with Woffinden then working hard for the solitary point, but he knows how valuable that could be come at the end of the 20 heats in his 5th ride. But for the 2 Russians, well, they really are flying. And that man, 2-2-2, Artem Laguta, is in a class of his own right now.
Yeah, last night it was 3-3-3 on his race card, and it could well be the same again tonight, couldn't it? So we can hear from Paul Bellamy from BSI, the rights holders of the Speedway Grand Prix Series, along with Armando Castagna from the FIM. He's going to talk to Kiri Bloor now. So let's hand over to Kiri right now.
Well, joining me now is Paul Bellamy, Senior Vice President of Motorsports at IMG. Now, there was a lot of talk yesterday, and including from me as well, but this morning in the Polish press, about the tyre situation. Now, I was probing the riders, but in fact, Paul, can you just give me a sort of a wider view on the tyre situation?
Yeah, of course. Anlers are the official tyre of the Grand Prix. They've been with us for 3 years. One of the things we put in place this year because of COVID-19, we asked all the riders to pre-order their tyres. Some of the boys pre-ordered them on the deadlines, they've been delivered and they've got them. Some of the other riders that didn't order in time now want the Anlers tyre, but of course they're past their deadline. So the tyres are absolutely available to everybody. It's a company that's been with us for many years, and it's still an even playing field. Everybody has the opportunity to have those tyres.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much, Paul. I'm going to bring in Armando Castagna now as well. Now, Armando, can you just tell us the situation? I think Paul sort of just shed some light on the fact that everyone can order these tyres. Artem, Magic, Niels and Mikkel Mikkelsen just were the 4 riders that chose those tyres, but the Anlers tyre option is available to every rider going forward and was already.
Well, I think that Paul already explained very well the situation. We as FIM, is our job to monitor and to make sure that there is not an unfair advantage, and this is what we will do, of course, in the future. The reality is that in Speedway we have 6 homologated companies, and we have to respect every one of them. The companies that invested a lot into the sport, and of course in the near future we will make the necessary checks.
Okay, well perhaps we're seeing the conversation because the Anlers tyres are working so well, so it's not a controversy but it's a conversation just because those tyres are now currently working well for the riders.
Well, but this is also a development that a company does in the last 3 years, because it is not true that Anlers is a new company in the sport. Anlers has been 3 years in Speedway and they've been working hard and developing, and some riders has believed and tested, and now they are using. The others also had the possibility or had a contractual position with other manufacturers, but this is also what is nice about our sport, competition between different manufacturers.
Okay, thanks so much, Armando. And the tyre situation will certainly unfold through the Speedway Grand Prix Series.
Well, very interesting debate. Some riders are clearly not happy about it, but Paul Bellamy explained it very well there, that the order was available, the order for delivery, the riders that actually ordered them got them on time, had them delivered, and they're using them. So
the only thing I'm slightly unsure about was whether you actually, if you didn't put your order in on time, can you
are they still available now?
Are they now available to you moving forward? That wasn't clearly answered. I understand it. If you haven't got the way I understand it at the moment, if you haven't got your order in on time, you don't get them this season. That's because that's how I understand it, and I think that's why possibly 1 or 2 riders are a little upset. They may have been a bit complacent about putting the orders in, but now that they've seen the evidence of people going very well on an Anlers tyre, they probably feel a bit aggrieved that they can't now get them, because ordinarily in a normal season they would be able to. So a bit of controversy going on there, probably a bit of ill feeling about it as well, but I've got to say, fair play to the lads that actually took the opportunity to try them and test them and see how they went.
Now we can hear from Chris Holder, the 2012 World Speedway Champion, and get his thoughts on the first 4 races in Wrocław.
Joining me now is Chris Holden. Now, Chris, we were talking earlier, you've obviously been out on the track as well. We've seen Artem go out already and be flying, but actually we've seen a good performance from Jason. So first of all, what was the track like as you saw it when you went out earlier?
To be honest, it looked like it was going to have a lot more grip on it, judging from the start, but I spoke to, Bartek just before and Emil, and they reckon it's going to be a lot slicker tonight. So as the first 4 heats then, it was, quite eventful for, first 4 heats are normally not much happening, but a lot of action for, the minor places, so it looks good.
Okay, well, it did rain last night. How much does that affect the track, or has it affected the track?
Yeah, it's just going to have a bit more moisture in it, I suppose, and, as the boys keep racing on it, it should all come up to the surface and hopefully make it for a bit more of a dirt line going, but at the minute it looks good, it looks really nice.
Okay, well, we've seen a bit of a change of form. Jason seems to look a bit more comfortable out there. Would that be a change of setup overnight, do you think?
Yeah, for sure. He would have learnt, obviously, from last night and, started off a little bit different tonight, and, yeah, he made a great start, and, if it wasn't Magic, perhaps he probably wouldn't have got past, but Magic knows this place inside out, and he worked it well. It was a good race.
Well, we haven't had this jeopardy for a while here at Speedway Grand Prix Series, which is the tyre jeopardy. Obviously, the Anlas tyres working very well. 4 of our riders have got those tyres. Well, it's certainly added a bit of spice to the evening, hasn't it?
It has, and I guarantee if I was in that position and Laguta's flogging me on that tyre, I'd want it too. But like they said, they had to order them, which I didn't know about. But there's no tyres here for the boys that want to jump on it now, but that's another problem.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. We'll check back on with you later.
No problem.
Interesting thoughts there from Chris. Looking at the race times, though, Laguta actually did a very fast race time, so the track may have just a fraction more grip in it. It'll be interesting to see how it works out, but there's no doubt that this tyre conversation is going to rumble on for a week or two, and it'll be interesting to see what happens by the time we get to Gorjov in 2 weeks' time, because this man, Janowski's on the Anlas tyre. He's flying. Artem Laguta, who's out here with him, he's on the Anlas tyre, excuse me. And yeah, maybe 1 or 2 of the riders, or 12 of the riders, obviously didn't feel that they needed to have the Anlas tyre. Certainly the world champion is on a Mitas. You can see the logo on the rear tyre there. But if Artem Laguta and Janowski keep going fast and keep dominating speedway races, I can assure you there will be plenty of shouting and screaming coming from other riders to have them available for the next 2 rounds in Gorjov.
Winners so far, Lindgren, Janowski, Laguta and Mikkelsen then in Wrocław. They're the winners for the opening 4 heats. Janowski, one of them here in the blue helmet colour, and it's Artem Laguta off the inside. So it's quite a tidy lineup. Laguta off the inside, then Janowski, Chuganov and Smarslik, the reigning champion.
Yeah.
So this is quite some lineup to look forward to for heat number 5.
Indeed it is, Nige, and Smarslik just struggling for a little bit of pace, and he's up against the best 2 riders on show so far over the first 2 nights. Smarslik looking for a big ride here.
Artem Laguta, the man of the moment, off the inside in red. Then Matsej Janowski, runner-up to Laguta last night, gate 2 in blue. Gleb Chuganov, the wild card off gate 3. And the reigning champion, Bartosz Smarslik, only got a point from his opening ride. He's off gate number 4 here. Can the top 2 be denied here for the 2 inside gates? Laguta and... Oh, no, tell you what, Chuganov went quick there.
Whoa, yeah.
Chuganov went really quick there. And now Janowski comes around the outside. Here comes Chuganov as well. Smarslik still very much in the mix going into that back straight. And look how quick Janowski is here. And now Chuganov tries the outside run on Laguta. Smarslik loses control of the bike and is at the back.
He is indeed. Smarslik certainly now working the inside. Superb stuff from Janowski. Gleb Chuganov looked like he chanced it at the start there. I thought the lights were going to come on, but they didn't. And he's hanging on in second place. Super ride from the home rider. The world champion out the back. He's not having a good night so far. Janowski, majestic out in front. Look at Smarslik. Long tracking down that back straight, working the bike so hard to get the better of Artem Laguta. Janowski out in front, dominating where he did in this opening ride.
Well, Laguta doesn't look anywhere near as quick this time. Look how far back he is. Smarslik's in 3rd place. The leader, no doubt about it, the home hero from this club, Wrocław, Matsej Janowski. Terrific ride from him, so much speed. And what about Gleb Chuganov as well, also a home rider? Riding beautifully there, and
Super
Smarslik,
ride.
the champion, passing Artem Laguta. Well, you never know what's around the corner in Speedway, do you?
You do not, and that's quite a shock result there, but what a smashing ride once again from Janowski.
And Chuganov into second place, Smarslik was third, and Artem Laguta, surprisingly, relegated to the back. Janowski, 2 rides, 2 wins, brilliant stuff from Magic.
Indeed it was, and he is quite clearly in the zone, as it were. Artem Laguta was the shock there by failing to score. See it again, there's no question. Well, anyway, it goes on. I'm not going on about the start, just looked a bit untidy. Here we go. Gleb Chuganov, 4 points to his name after 2 rides. That's a much stronger start. If he hadn't touched the tapes in his first ride last night, could easily have made the semi-finals. Here we see with Janowski digging in that bike. That bike is set up beautifully. Absolutely powering away out in front. Such a wonderful feeling when you got the bike working as well as that. Smarslik, I tell you, he works so hard just for the solitary point and gets the better of the Russian Artem Laguta, who inexplicably drops 3 points in one race tonight. We did not see that coming, but for this man out in front, 6 out of 6, 2 out of 2, he is looking red hot tonight.
Yeah, he's going to go to the semi-finals the way he's going, that's for sure. Talk of tyres tonight, and the analyst tyres, which weren't available to the riders to order by a deadline, of course, and that's those riders that got their order in have got them and are able to use them tonight once again. Sayfutdinov goes off the inside in red. Then it's Freddie Lindgren off gate 2 in blue, a winner first time out. Leon Madsen yet to trouble the scorers from his opening ride. Remarkable. And then Niels Christian Iversen goes off the outside in yellow. A Russian, a Swede, and 2 Danes ready to do battle in heat number 6.
They are indeed, and Sayfutdinov rode really strongly in his opening ride to come through into second place. It was quite a tear-up for second, third and fourth, but he prevailed into second place, starts strongly with 2 points. Madsen, a shock in his opening ride, failing to score, and not quite showing the speed we saw at the back end of last season. But Freddie Lindgren, well, super result for him last night. He started in strong start. He won his opening race, gate 2 for the Swede this time. Never count him out. He's a very determined man these days, desperate to be world champion.
Yep, here we go then with heat number 6. Which way will this one go? Can Madsen get off gate 3? He can't. Sayfutdinov's made a nice one from the inside gate. Now will Lindgren make the run around the outside? Here comes Madsen up the inside. All 3 together going into the third turn. And now Lindgren will read the situation and charge through into the lead. Oh, my goodness me, what a race this is.
Oh, it is indeed. 4 of them went over the start and finish line as they completed the opening lap. Down the back straight, Iversen coming into it. Leon Madsen, you can't take your eyes off this one. Freddie Lindgren, ruthless coming out of turn 4 in the opening lap, firing away out in front. Still the action continues for second, third and fourth. Leon Madsen now coming round the outside. No, the door is slammed shut by Emil Sayfutdinov. Sensational speedway, brilliant stuff, but Freddie Lindgren's going to move on to 6 points. What a night he's having so far.
He's definitely fast, Freddie Lindgren, tonight, that's for sure. Look at the speed he's got going into turn 3. Yeah. Iversen is there in yellow with Madsen at the back, in third place, I should say. And the man at the back is Emil Sayfutdinov, and Iversen just hangs on. Iversen just hangs on for second spot ahead of his fellow countrymen. But what a ride from Freddie Lindgren. He is absolutely on top of his game tonight.
He is. Maybe
realising that he had a bit of good fortune on his side to get into the semis last night, and maybe that's made him feel good. 62.6 the time. Iversen, Madsen, Sayfutdinov, and it's 2 out of 2 for the Wolverhampton legend, Freddie Lindgren.
That's absolutely right. He had plenty of good seasons at Wolverhampton, there's no question about that, but by golly, he has come from nowhere. He had 7 points after 5 outings yesterday. He's got 6 from 2 tonight. A touch of, I'd say that's an improvement.
Just a bit?
Just a touch. And here we see it now. This was one hell of an opening lap. Fantastic stuff. Sayfutdinov doesn't even know he's there. He's looking to his left. He's looking at Leon Madsen, but look at this move from Freddie Lindgren. What a switch to the inside. 4 of them down the back straight here, almost touching each other.
He's read it here, Cal, hasn't he?
He's read it beautifully nice. He switched there, he knew what he was going to do, then comes charging through, and Iversen also follows him in. What a moment that was. That was such an action-packed opening lap of Speedway. You could not take your eyes away from it. But for Freddie Lindgren, well, he is on top form so far this evening. Great stuff here. Leon Madsen coming back into it. Sayfutdinov loses out here. He'll be frustrated with that. Interesting to know what Freddie's got on his tyres tonight. Is he a Mitas man or an Anlas man? I think he's a Mitas man. Maybe this Anlas sort of hysteria may just calm down a wee bit when you're seeing speed from a man like that out in front. Super ride from Fast Freddie.
It was indeed magnificent, and we're up to heat number 7 now, and it's Patrick Dudek off the inside gate. Matti Zegar yet to score. Mikkel Mikkelsen, a good win in his opening ride. He's off gate 3. And Jason Doyle going off the outside.
I wonder if Fast Freddie's got some second-hand tyres of Artem Lagusa from last night. Because he's
slip me a few quid, yeah.
I'll give you a £5 for a couple of those tyres, please.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's going great guns tonight. Mikkel Mikkelsen started well. He had a nice ride. So did Dudek. He had a much improved performance from him. So it'll be interested to see if they can build on that now in their second outing.
Yep, heat number 7 it is. Christer Gardell with his finger on the button, the Swedish referee. It's Patrick Dudek who's got the lead early on. Much better from him. Watch out for Zegar in blue up the inside run. But Dudek's got the speed, and now here comes Doyle charging up the inside. Good ride from Jason Doyle. Now Zegar will try and cut back on the inside. Very, very tight, and Doyle's gone to the back. Can you believe it? Great move from Mikkel Mikkelsen.
Unbelievable move there from the Dane. He's just struck the Doyle ruthlessly in front of Zegar. Zegar then replaced the compliment, but Dudek, we said that he was looking better in his first outing. It's proving to be the case because he's hit the front here and looking very quick indeed. Doyle's overriding the bike there, just trying a little bit too hard, killing his speed, but Mikkel Mikkelsen's coming on strong here. Dudek out in front, he's got company.
Yeah, this is the proper Patrick Dudek that we know.
Yeah.
But he's got Mikkel Mikkelsen all over him. Good to see Mikkelsen getting in the mix in the Grand Prix Series. We know he's good enough. European champion last year, of course. Patrick Dudek delights the Polish fans here.
That's better.
And that is a good ride. Much better. Absolutely, that's better for Patrick Dudek. Nice ride. Gets the victory. There's up to 5 points out of 6 now as well, which is great for him.
More like it.
Disappointment for Doyle, though, at the back that time.
Overriding there.
Here's the result. Patrick Dudek the winner. Mikkel Mikkelsen second. Matti Zegar was third. And Jason Doyle of the Swindon Robins. Czestochowa in Poland at the back, the 2017 world champion. Lindgren, Anianowski, maximum men so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's no doubt that Jason Doyle was working overtime there, but he hasn't got the speed he wants. We saw in his opening ride, he made a really good start, but just didn't have the pace to stay there. He ends up overriding a little bit here. Look at how hard he pushed there down the inside of Zegar, but he can't quite stay there. Dudek's hit the front, lovely, from the inside. Smashing move here from Mikkelsen as the two lads in second and third run wide, and the Dane takes advantage of that, slips up the inside, and that's where he stays and shows good form. Here we see it again, smashing move. Got to say, Zegar's hard on Doyle there. Doyle's wild, coming hard back at Zegar there, nearly wipes him out as they come out of turn 2. Real battle for third place with Zegar coming through. But the boys out in front, Dudek and Mikkelsen, riding nicely, showing great pace.
Yep, we're up to heat number 8 now as well, and that will be the conclusion of 2 rides each for the boys. Martin Vasilik on a warning off the inside gate. He's got 1 point to his name. Max Frick and Antonio Limbach yet to trouble the scorers. And Ty Woffernan, who worked hard for his 1 point in his opening ride, he goes off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour.
He does indeed, and he'll be looking for more. With Freddie Lindgren unbeaten so far. And of course, a former teammate at Wolves. They were very successful together there, winning the championship. And he'll want to pick it up. 4th last night, of course, Woofenden.
I can clarify the tyre situation, Kelv.
Good.
For those riders that wanted to use the tyres for Gorzhov, rounds 3 and 4, that deadline has passed. The deadline to order tyres for Prague was the 21st of August. That deadline has passed.
Okay, so
the only opportunity for the riders not on Anlas, if they want them, the only opportunity they'll get to ride them is over the 2 days in Torrent.
Okay, well, they're stuck with what they've got then, and I've got to say, it will be interesting to know what Freddie Lindgren's on. I think he's on Mitas and he's flying. Yep. Here we see Martin Vasilik out in front, smashing stuff from here, and then Frick down the inside nine. Super ride from the Australian.
Yeah, much better from Max Frick, and then Vasilik charging hard again now. Woofenen's in yellow in 3rd place right now, and Antonio Lindbach's at the back. Now, Woofenen's on the pace, but Max Frick is riding beautifully here. This is what we see from Max Frick, or what we used to see every week in Manchester at Bellevue last season, and that was superb. And Vasilik chasing hard, Woffinden really chasing Martin Vasilik hard as well. He's going to try the inside run again here, Kel.
Frick out in front, looking $1 million. Here comes Woffinden, gets the better of Martin Vasilik. Woffinden hasn't quite got it so far this evening, but he's using all his riding skill to get as much out of the bike as he possibly can. Frick quite clearly benefiting from the practice of racing last night, and he's moving on beautifully in front. Great move at the early part of the race.
Yeah, this is much more like it from Max Frick. Started his European career with the Edinburgh Monarchs, and now very much established at Bellevue, but not this year because he decided to sit out British Speedway this year for the Grand Prix. But that's more like it from Max Frick, congratulated by Ty Woffinden, and he'll feel a lot happier with that. That'll be a huge confidence boost now for the Australian Max Frick. Ty Woffinden second, Martin Vasilik third, and Antonio Limbach's struggles go on at the back there. The top of the table then, we see Freddie Lindgren and Mats Janowski on 6 each, Dudek and Mikkelsen 5 apiece. Britain's Woffinden in 8th place on 3.
Hi, my name's Bert, and I'm a big fan of supercars. It's my job to make sure everything's clean. The cars, the fuel, the track. You can't get the top performance if it ain't clean. That's why I only use BP Ultimate. Keeps the engine clean so it stays at top performance.
To push yourself to the limit, you need Brute heavy-duty sweat protection. So back yourself to perform with Brute military-grade protection. Hoorah! Back yourself with Brute military grade.
If he's old enough to watch The Walking Dead with me, then he's old enough to stay home alone.
He's not.
Claire's not a little boy anymore.
I'm fine.
See how deep his voice is?
Huge boost for him. His first heat win of 2020 in the Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff for him.
Yep, Vasilik looking stylish, but he couldn't land a blow on Max Frick because the Australian was so superb there. It's almost like he's just pressed a button and tried something different, Frick. And
well, they've got nothing to lose.
No,
you know,
exactly.
Their expectations are not to win the World Championship this year. It's probably all about surviving the championship. And of course, last night it didn't go well. Possibly a touch nervous, but this time out, looking a lot better.
I think we can get some interviews now. Reaction to the action with Kiri.
Chris Holder with me once again to slip back over those heats. Chris, that was an interesting shake-up. We've just seen a great performance from Max. He's not had a great season so far, but that was a really strong heat.
Yeah, that was great for him, and that'll do his confidence, you know, a world of good. He looked fast too, you know, he did it from behind out of the first corner, made a good first turn, and yeah, come into turn 3 here and hit that dirt and look really good out in front, so that'll be good for him for sure.
And I know it's the question that's always really annoying for a rider that we want to ask, but Martin Vasilik, he's gone from great form last night to seems like it slipped away. What happens overnight to see someone's performance change so much?
That's the beauty of Speedway, you know. It can either be your night or have a tough start. You know, he's obviously started off a little bit slower tonight, but as you've seen yesterday, there's still a lot of points up for grabs, and, you know, he's just got to make that semi, and if he gets through to the final, he can do, you know, what Freddie did last night. So not panicking just yet, I don't think, but he'll want to turn it around sooner than later.
And just watching Ty out there, he's looking at different lines to other riders. Is there a line that you've seen that's working better?
Ty, I've seen that he changed his bike too, so he's, you know, obviously wasn't real happy with the first one, and he looks like he's got a lot of speed, but just got held up behind Martin there for a couple of laps, and then, yeah, he's done a lot of laps around here, and he worked him out quite quick and chased Max, but Max, he had good speed and was, sometimes you can't make an impression, but he looked good, and I'm sure he'll be pulling some crazy stuff out there soon.
All right, thanks, Chris. Talk to you in a bit.
Well, yeah, it's, you know, Max Frick quite clearly has the talent, has the speed. When he rode for Bellevue Aces last year and previous seasons, he's been absolutely wonderful around the National Speedway Stadium. And no doubt that he can do it, and he rides at this track. So not a complete surprise for him to win a race, but he'll be delighted, and the confidence boost that he'll get from that. Martin Vasilik, plenty of racing to come for him.
Stepping up for a chat now is Gleb Chuganov. Now, Gleb, 2 great heats there. Have you changed your setup at all? Feeling confident out there?
I'm sorry?
2 great heats, 3 points and a 2 points. A really good start to the evening.
Yeah, now it's going, I think, a little bit better than yesterday. So keep fighting, and try to go into semi-final, I think.
Okay, now, has your setup changed from last night?
Sorry, not too much. I think some changing in my head, little bit nervous down, and yeah, something like that.
Fantastic. Well, it's certainly a unique experience. Back-to-back rounds for us. It's unique for us as well. What's it like to go out for 2 Grand Prix Series rounds, one after the other?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know we can hear the Polish channel. That's why Gleb's saying I'm sorry. Back-to-back rounds. It must be tough for you. What's it like being out there with back-to-back rounds?
It's okay, because sometimes we have race in extra league, something like that. In 2 days, we was have in 3 days, I think 1 month ago, and so we're training for that in winter, and I think it's okay.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Gleb.
Yeah, thank you very much.
His English is quite good, considering he's a Russian native. It's good. It's good English from Gleb, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember talking to him in the Speedway of Nations in 2018, and he came up to me and he said, "Oh, you are the mad commentator."
He never did.
He did, and he's a really cheeky guy, and he's
right though, isn't he? You're mad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so are you. And the fact is that. He's got plenty of talent as well, and these guys are used to riding. You know, the guys that ride in 3 leagues, they can ride 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
So back-to-back racing, I think the biggest difference here is that you're riding 2 Grand Prix back-to-back. We were chatting earlier about the fact that you got, you know, had the 2-day World Final back in 1987. Speedway of Nations, of course, is over 2 days as well. So I think most of the guys are pretty accustomed to being able to cope with a couple of days of racing.
Yep, so heat number 9 coming up next. Iversen, Woffenden, Janowski and Dudek.
Mikkel, 2 not bad heats out there, picking up 2nd place in both of those heats. So setup slightly changed as we came into tonight?
Yes and no. The first race last night was pretty good. Then I made a wrong decision after that one, and then it was just, you know, I was on the struggle bus all night trying to get it working, and then in the last one I sort of got it right, and we just sort of started off where we finished in the last race yesterday, and it's working better.
Fantastic. Now there's a lot of talk about these tyres. You've got those tyres, so they're obviously working tonight for you.
You know, to be honest, I think it's bullshit. Sorry for my language, but you know, it's a homologated tyre. It's FIM approved. You saw last night I was using the tyre as well, and I was yeah, rubbish to say it. So, you know, it's a combination of everything. You see riders on Mita's tires out there winning races as well. So, you know, it all comes down to how you set up the bike and everything. So I wouldn't say there's an advantage on the tire, but I gotta say thank you to Endless Tires for sponsoring me.
All right, thanks, Mikkel. Enjoy the rest of tonight.
Cheers.
I think that was very well said. I think the fact that, you know, Freddie Lindgren's on a My Test tonight, I think it'll calm down. I think when somebody wins on a new tyre, I think there's a little bit possibly of overreaction, but we will see. But another interesting race coming up now. Janowski unbeaten so far, and Dudek's out with him here as well, and Dudek looking much more like his old self on 5 points, and Mikkelsen is a win and a 2nd place, moving on to 5, which is a strong performance from the Dane.
Yeah, I mean, Janowski just looks so much quicker than everybody else, but I said that about Laguta before his last ride, and look what happened to him there. Finished stone last, so you just don't know.
And he was on an endless tyre, and all of a sudden you can't...
I'm tired of talking about tyres.
So am I, and I think it will calm down. I think that you'll find that... I think the way Mikkelsen actually summed it up in that interview was quite... was really mature, wasn't it? You know, bike setup, getting everything working together. Those 2 boys last night that won 1st and 2nd, they did the business.
Yeah, so heat number 9 coming up then in Wrocław. Can anybody beat Maciej Janowski? We'll find out very shortly. We're up to heat number 9 then in Wrocław, and it's Niels Christian Iversen off the inside, 3 points so far. Ty Woffenden is off gate number 2. Then it's Maciej Janowski off gate 3 in white, and off the outside in yellow, Patrick Dudek, a win and a 2nd so far for him. So we'll see if anybody can beat Maciej Janowski off gate number 3 in white, he has been unstoppable so far. But he's got his Wroclaw teammate Ty Woffenden just inside gate number 2. And Everson's looks better tonight, and Dudek with that win last time out as well.
Yeah, this could be quite a tear up here because the 2 poles are looking good. Woffenden looking for a touch more speed. Everson working awfully hard as well. Very competitive lineup.
It is indeed. Heat number 9. 3rd round of races for these riders. And they're away first time of asking. It's a good start from Janowski. Will he get there? He's going to drift wide. Everson's got the lead beautifully here. Woffenden is second, and now Dudek charging hard on Janowski. Woffenden tries to dive the inside run on Niels Christian Everson. This is better from the Dane.
Yeah.
He's dialed in here. Niels all right. Woffenden second. Janowski has got so much speed, though. Ty will know what it's all about there. He's going to try and close the door. No, there's enough room there. Janowski battles through. Woffenden coming back for more.
Not quite. Woffenden hanging on in second place. Terrific tear up between the 2 teammates. Everson looking really good out in front. Woffenden working so hard. Now Woffenden's beginning to power on. Switches to the inside. Can he squeeze up there? Everson there. Oh, just a touch too much grip. Dudek out the back. 1 lap to go. Throw a blanket over the first 3. Proper speedway in Wroclaw again.
And Janowski's trying the inside run on Woffenden. He's getting so close to riders, isn't he? He's almost touching bikes again.
Yeah.
Everson, though, magnificent from the Dane. Hangs on for the victory just ahead of Woffenden. And Maciej Janowski was in 3rd place, so yes, Maciej Janowski can be beaten, people. And Patrick Dudek at the back. But what a ride from Everson. I think all his experience came into play there, Kelv.
Oh, no
because
doubt.
He knew that Woffenden was trying the inside run. He rode a perfect line there, Niels Christian Everson, the Peterborough man, wins the race. Ty Woffenden second, Maciej Janowski 3rd, and Patrick Dudek at the back.
Yeah, that was a smashing speedway race, no question. And Niels Christian Everson showing what he's all about. Great tenacity, moving on to 6 points from 3 rides. He'll be delighted with that. Dudek missing out that time with being at the back. And there's no doubt that Janowski also dropping a couple of points as well. But we see it again. Tapes up. Everybody behaving nicely, lovely. And Everson certainly superb away from the inside. I thought Woffenden had got there, you know. It looks like he might just, it's a very even break actually, but Everson right round the inside, whatever they've done, it's working because that bike powered off the first corner, sweet as you like. Dudek nearly running into his compatriot down the back straight, but he can't land a blow. That momentum stopper there really does kill his chances of getting amongst the points. Look how tight it was. I tell you what, Dudek does well not to run into Janowski there.
He had to get off the gas quick.
He had a moment, I tell you. His heart was in his mouth there. Great battle between the teammates. Woffenden making Janowski work.
He got him here, Cal.
Yeah, he looked like he had the run, but Woffenden, you know, savvy guy.
Lovely racing
brain,
yeah.
Racing brain. Just subtly made it that bit more difficult to come by. But for Everson, what a confidence-boosting ride that will be. He's had a torrid time this year. Pleased for him.
6 points and well on the way to a semi-final spot. Lindback yet to score off the inside. Gleb Chuganov goes off gate 2 in white, 2 second places. Mati Zegar just the 1 point, already assured of a place next year, of course, by virtue of his performance in the Grand Prix Challenge last Saturday. And Leon Madsen going off the outside. He is not on the form he was at the start of last year's series, when he made a tremendous start and a great impact on the SGP series.
Got to remember that Leon Madsen's had 2 lots of back surgery.
Yes, he has.
And they were significant injuries. I know that one of his discs was burst and he had a microdiscectomy. I mean, he has been through the wall, so you've got to give him a little bit of breathing space. Here we go, gate 4 for Madsen this time.
Yep, heat number 10 it is. Away from the start, Leon Madsen off the outside, can't quite get there. That's a nice one from Lindback. Are we about to see Lindback get the winning touch here? Madsen charging through from 4th to 2nd, and now he's going to try and get up the inside and go past Antonio Lindback. He does it easily there. Chuganov now passing Lindback as well, and Lindback is in danger of going from first to last as Zegar comes through, but Leon Madsen riding beautifully here.
Oh, he's fired up this time, isn't he? Smashing move, the trademark move from Leon Madsen. Not making a great start, but just showing great pace, and all of a sudden that bike is powering away out in front. Another super ride from Chuganov here. The wildcard doing a great job tonight. A little bit more relaxed than he was yesterday when he touched the tapes in his opening ride, but he's looking like he could make the semi-finals this evening. Zegar tailed off in 3rd place, and Lindback once again, his woes continue. But for Madsen, this is more like it from him. He'll be pleased with this. They must have tweaked that bike. He's fast in front.
He is indeed, and he really has got that race under control. Superb ride from Leon Madsen. Lindback will be disappointed. He's obviously out of confidence. He's obviously having a tough time.
Yeah.
And it is tough to watch for him. He's got many, many fans around Europe, of course, Antonio. But he really is struggling here in the opening 2 rounds of the SGP series. Madsen, Chuganov, Zagar, Lindback, who went from first to last. And that will be a bitter blow once again. He's probably low on confidence anyway, Kelv.
That's just a killer, that one. That really does make it difficult for you. You don't know what to do. But for Gleb Chuganov on 6 points from 3 rides, that's a smashing effort from the wild card. But Madsen needed that. He only had 1 point from 2 rides. He moves on to 4. And I've got to say, after it was an indifferent start, but look at this. He just chops to the inside, and then all of a sudden that bike digs in, and he's got the speed that we're accustomed seeing from him. Lindback there is battling hard at this early stage, but gets moved over there, just finds himself in a vulnerable place, and they're queuing up to come by. Gleb Chuganov, the Russian, is able to then hang on in second place. Consistency from him, a smashing night for him as the wild card, and moving on to 6. But for Leon Madsen, the world number 2, this is more like it, and you just feel that maybe he might just have found the key to conditions. Zagar and Antonio Lindback struggling, but for that man, 3 points, very useful.
Very useful indeed for Leon Madsen, and 4 points now from 3 rides. Shaping up nicely now. We're trying to really establish a picture of who the top 8 are likely to be. And Jason Doyle here, 2 points from his first ride and then a 0, could really do with a big result here.
Needs a win.
Yep, he's up against the defending champion Bartosz Marslik, who we know is not at his best. Emil Sayfutdinov, 2 points from 2 rides as well. So there's big name riders with big reputations looking for big points here.
Yeah, they're going to make a few tweaks. Quite clearly, 1 or 2 guys are beginning to work it out. And Smarslik needs more speed. So does Doyle. Doyle hasn't had enough. Sayfutdinov looks quick, but just got caught in the wrong spot. But Frick on the inside last time. What a big wing that was for him. And can the Australian produce it again here? It's a tough lineup for him, but his confidence must be better than it was previously. Here we go. Brilliant racing prospect.
Yeah, heat number 11 it is, and away from the start, it's Max Frick once again, but charging hard around the outside, and up the inside is the champion Smarslik. Now Doyle tries the outside run. Watch out for Emil in the yellow helmet colour. The lead, though, here is with the defending champion, Bartosz Smarslik, the man in red here. Max Frick charging hard again up the inside run. We're seeing some smashing speedway now, Kel.
Oh, Doyle comes charging into 3rd place as well. Smarslik working hard to get the better of the Aussie boy. Frick, but Frick's on the pace. Here comes Sayfutdinov charging back into 3rd place to 4th, his way past Jason Doyle. And you can never allow any movement there from Smarslik, because he is such a hard-working rider out in front. The world champion showing his mettle here. He needed it, and he's producing it. Frick, though, steady in 2nd place, solid in 2nd place, and Sayfutdinov back in 3rd. Doyle's woes continue. Just not enough speed coming out of the bike.
He started really well, Jason Doyle, as well. It's a shame, that one for him. But what about Bartosz Smarslik, the reigning champion, with a fine ride, and how he needed that as well. Smarslik, the Gorzhov rider, who will be on his home track in a couple of weeks for the next 2 Grand Prix rounds. And he's going to take some stopping around there.
Tell you what, Sayfutdinov struggling tonight. 3 points from 3 rides, not good enough. Smarslik, though, he needed that produced when he really, his back was against the wall.
Frick, Sayfutdinov and Doyle behind Smarslik. That was your finishing order. And Janowski, 7 points from 3 rides, but still we await Freddie Lindgren, another one of the unbeaten riders tonight, to see what he can do in heat number 12.
Yeah, tapes up, and Doyle makes a great start initially with Frick alongside him. The 2 Australians in the first corner, they run wide, and that opens the doors for Smarslik and Sayfutdinov. Tight going into turn 3 on the opening lap. Frick then comes through into 2nd place. I thought for a moment he might be able to put a bit more pressure on the world champion, but it's not to be. But 5 points from his last 2 outings, very useful indeed. Sayfutdinov then coming through on Jason Doyle, and Doyle, as hard as he's working, just hasn't got the speed he requires. He'll be so frustrated back in the pits. They're going to have to really do some soul searching to find it, if they possibly can. Out in front, though, the world champion, after 2 disappointing outings, picks up his first win on the night. He'll be really pleased with that. needed it. 5 points from 3 rides.
Freddie Lindgren unbeaten so far. And can anybody stop him here? Artem Laguta is on the inside gate. He'll be looking to bounce back from his last race disappointment. When we were asking the question, can anybody beat Artem Laguta? Well, he finished last in his last ride.
And then 3 of them did.
Yeah, and Lindgren, who scraped into the semi-finals with 7 points from 5 rides last night.
Yeah.
Tonight, he's already got 6 from 2.
Yeah, he's looking good, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's looking really good. Coming out of gate 3, he'll be happy with that.
He will. Laguta off the inside, then off 2, it's Martin Vasilik, who's been scoring well in the Extraliga in Poland. Gate number 3 is Freddie Lindgren, and Mikkelsen going off the outside gate has ridden nicely tonight as well. It's been a decent meeting. We've seen some good speedway. Track conditions slightly different after the overnight rain that they had. A little bit of movement at the start there, but it's a clean getaway for Artem Laguta on the inside. Now Lindgren tries the inside switch to get the better of Vasilik. Now he's charging hard, putting pressure on Artem Laguta. Laguta's got a race on here now because Lindgren's going to chop up the inside. Here comes Fast Freddy once again, really putting the pressure on Artem Laguta, who spots over his left shoulder the line that Lindgren was trying, blocked the move, and that was a good ride by Laguta.
It was indeed. He's bouncing back in fine style here. Dropped 3 points in his previous ride, but he's out in front looking good. Mikkelsen now coming through on Martin Vasilik, who's having to work very hard for his points tonight. Freddie Lindgren looking like he's going to drop a point for the first time, but 8 points, well, that's better than last night after 5 rides, so he'll be happy with that. Out in front, Artem Laguta showing the form we saw last night again. Bouncing back in fine style here, Nigel.
He is indeed. The normal service resumed for Artem Laguta in the red helmet colour. Riding beautifully, super quick once again, and the first rider to beat Freddie Lindgren tonight. Lindgren had a real good go early on there, but ultimately couldn't get near Laguta in the end. And that's a fine ride from the Russian, 61.9.
Fast, really fast. That actually replicates his heat-winning time in his opening ride. So once again, the speed certainly has returned. The Russian is flying again this evening.
Vasilik getting that 3rd place ahead of Mikkelsen. So it's Laguta, Lindgren, Vasilik, Mikkelsen, and Freddie Lindgren is top scorer after 3 rides each with 8 points.
Venturing. Hi, my name's Bert, and I'm a big fan of supercars. It's my job to make sure everything's clean. The cars, the fuel, the track. You can't get the top performance if it ain't clean. That's why I only use BP Ultimate. Keeps the engine clean so it stays at top performance.
I thought I was fine to go to work. Turns out I had COVID and unknowingly spread it. I can't change that, but we can all change what we do in the future. Together, let's be COVID safe and save lives. Visit australia.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
To push yourself to the limit, you need Brute heavy-duty sweat protection. So back yourself to perform with Brute military-grade protection. Hoorah! Back yourself with Brute military grade.
If he's old enough to watch The Walking Dead with me,
He's
then
not.
he's old enough to stay home alone.
He's not.
Claire's not a little boy anymore.
I'm fine.
See how deep his voice is?
A frustrating time for the Slovakian. I'm sure with 2 rides to go, he'll be looking for a little bit more. But so far, you've got Freddie Lundgren really looking good tonight, building on that, well, a touch of good fortune that he enjoyed last night, and coming through into 3rd place after only scoring 7 points. Of course, he was excluded from 1 race, but there's no doubt that Artem Laguta at the moment really is enjoying a rich vein of form. Smarslik working hard as always. His focus and determination is a sight to behold. Great team. It's Artem Laguta's team just making sure everything's tip-top. We've got 2 rounds of races to come, and we'll now know who the semi-finals are, but we can get a little bit more reaction now from down in the pits with Kiri Bloor.
Chris Holder back with me again. Now, Chris, things are certainly getting shaken up tonight quite a bit. Now, we saw Leon with a couple of bad heats, but now back on form. Any ideas why that is?
Oh, he's on the same bike, so, you know, from watching and how this track sort of works, it's you could be the fastest guy out there but not be in front. But if you leave yourself in a vulnerable position, you know, they're carving each other up pretty brutal. And if they wash off a bit of speed, it takes them too long to get going. But it's tough. They're racing hard out there.
And now obviously the red and the blue gate are working well, but I'm also seeing no points off those gates. It's quite an interesting pick which gates are working.
For sure. Look, you know, they all look pretty good, you know, not sort of one gate that seems to be standing out. And like I said, that first corner is really crucial to, you know, put yourself in a good spot, not to leave a door open for a rider to, you know, not necessarily pass you, but just take your line away from you and kill your speed. So that first lap's wild.
All right, thanks, Chris. See you in a bit.
Always good to hear from Chris Holder, of course, the 2012 World Speedway champion, based in Toruń now in Poland, and has been with Toruń in the Polish Extraliga for quite some time, stayed with them in the second division. And yeah, all good. Let's hear from Max Frick now. He's going to be speaking to Kiri.
Max Frick joining me now. Now, Max, that's what we've been waiting for, a good couple of heats from you.
I'm sorry.
We're so far away, we can't hear anything. I'm going to step a bit closer. Max, a great couple of heats. A great couple of heats. Okay, we're a great couple of heats there.
Yeah, my last couple of heats, I'm feeling much better. You know, it's been a tough start to the Grand Prix yesterday, and you know, I'm just trying to come out and make some changes and be better today.
Okay, how are you finding the track?
The track's really nice. You know, it's a little bit different to yesterday, a little bit slicker, but it's really nice and smooth, and I think there's some great racing out there. So I just need to keep making some good starts and hopefully pick up some points.
All right, Max, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much.
So, thank you.
Well, we got there in the end. The roar of the bikes, not making life very easy for Kiri down there in the interview area. But yeah, Max Frick riding a lot better tonight, a 0 in his opening ride, and then whatever he did, whatever he changed, not quite sure what he did, but 5 points out of a possible 6 from his last 2 rides was excellent. And yeah, a lot better from Max Frick. Great panoramic shot of this wonderful, iconic venue, the Olympic Stadium in Wroclaw. Such a beautiful part of the world. The centre of the town, the city is wonderful. And the crowd, I'm sure, are enjoying themselves tonight. We've got 8 qualifying races still to come.
Yeah.
8 races still to come before we go into the semi-finals and the final.
We have indeed, and it's building up very nicely. It's a little bit of a surprise with 1 or 2 of the results from riders. Saifutinov certainly looking for a bit more, and he's out here in heat number 13. Janowski flying. Lindback really he's having a difficult time. Mikkelsen, that was a shock where he'd been looking really consistent and then runs a last. It just shows you how difficult it is and how competitive it is. Just making sure the chain oil is working correctly there. You've got to keep that oil just dripping on the chain because you don't want it to get dry. Otherwise you'll have problems. But yeah, this next 8 races will decide the top 8 for tonight. And it's been a decent meeting again. I think it's been pretty much as good as last night. We've got some good racing going on and very competitive, and guys are going to start getting a little bit more desperate now. I think Jason Doyle will be scratching his head back in the pits, Nigel. It's been very difficult for the former world champion so far.
Beautiful skyline in Wrocław, red sky at night. Shepherd's Delight, is that what they say? Not quite sure what that is in Polish, but there we are. But yes, and wonderful venue, truly wonderful.
Oh, fabulous stadium, and when it was refurbed for the World Games, I believe it was 2017, they spent 100 million euros on this place, and all the infrastructure inside has been redone, the plumbing, the wiring, I mean, everything's been done. The new start and finish straight with the stand there, but the outside of the stadium looks the same, and I must say it's a really charismatic place to be, and it's retained its character. Jacko, that's the #1 mechanic for Wolfenden, just doing a bit of time. Maybe they're changing their bike this time. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on this time. But Janowski's been going great guns. He's dropped a point this so far, but second last night. He's replicating the sort of form from last night, which is not always easy, and particularly as a home rider and a pole, of course. The expectations on the poles is huge. They are quite demanding, the public here. They love it, but they want to see their heroes do the business as well. I can remember when we think about Thomas Golub, for 2 decades carried the weight of a nation and did it supremely well, and now there's a group of them with Schmarzlik, Dudek, Janowski, those three in particular now having to carry that burden, and Schmarzlik becoming a World Championship winner last year. Mickelson just taking a bit of a keen look at track prep. This is a tough time for Antonio Lindback.
Yeah, what about the thoughts of Antonio, mate? Because he really is struggling. I don't know how he puts something like this right. You know, he scored 1 point last night. He's failed to score tonight and was leading a race. So he's scored 1 point in 8 Grand Prix races over these last 2 nights. And how do you put that right, Kelv?
It's very difficult, because it's very difficult to find form in a Grand Prix, because he's not coming here with any form. That's the problem. You know, they're scratching their heads coming here. It's not like he's just had 2 or 3 really strong results in the league. He has had a tough time in the league. So, you know, this is a harsh environment if you're not going very well. Nobody's going to do you any favours, and we saw that in the last race where he hit the front and got relegated to the back in the blink of an eye. So it's a very tough environment to find form. But you know, Antonio Lindback, we've seen some performances from him in the past where Speedway of Nations, he's been absolutely fabulous for Sweden.
Yes.
You know, where he was so fast. But
a couple of years ago, that night at Vastavik we had, he was unstoppable. He was doing it from all directions as well, wasn't he?
Exactly. So he's got the ability, but you know, I just fear that when this sort of form, last year 12th, a touch fortunate to be back in the Grand Prix. I do hope that it's not a step too far, because sometimes being put back in when you've had a season like that, it can work one or two ways. It's an opportunity to really get your act together, or at the moment it's only going one way. So fingers crossed for Antonio, he can find it and find it quickly.
Yeah, so Freddie Lindgren top of the chop on 8 points from his 3 rides, and we move into heat number 13 now. Here's Mikkel Mikkelsen in the red helmet colour. Mats Janowski looking to score some big points here, although he's got 7 already, so
he's looking good, isn't
another
he?
couple of points and he'll be in the semi-finals anyway.
Yeah, comfortably in the semi-finals. Lindgren going great guns. Last minute tweak to the new bike for Emil Saifutinov, who's struggling tonight. He needs to turn his fortunes around in this race. He needs a big 3 points. Can the Russian do the business this time?
Here we go then with heat number 13. It's Mikkel Mikkelsen going off the inside gate on 5 points. Antonio Lindback, gate 2, yet to score a point. Emil Saifutinov going off gate number 3 in white. And then off the outside in yellow, it's the local boy, Mats Janowski. Kel, let me just ask you about Janowski and Laguta. They're obviously super quick. A lot of talk about the tyre situation, but is it because their gearing's better, their bikes are set up better? What are your thoughts on that? Is it all down to the tyre? It can't be, sure.
No, it's not all down to the tyre. There's no way that tyre can be that much better than the other tyre. It may be slightly different, and maybe at this particular track it just suits the conditions a touch more. But I think that those two boys are just riding extremely well, and they've just nailed it on the setup so far.
Yep, OK. Heat number 13 it is. Big lineup. And away from the start they go, the 4th outing for all these riders. And the lead is with Mikkel Mikkelsen in red. And watch out for Janowski. Janowski's the man in the yellow helmet colour who comes down the back straight and rides beautifully. He takes the lead now. Mats Janowski is a local boy, grew up around Wroclaw, and here he is. And Lindback is 3rd now, with once again Russian Emil Saifutinov, Kelv, struggling at the back.
Yeah, he changed his bike here, and it hasn't paid off at all. He is struggling behind Antonio. Janowski, meanwhile, is absolutely flying in front. Mikkelsen has responded well after running last time. He's in 2nd place. But look at Janowski. He is once again showing fabulous speed. Really is enjoying it here at his home club. Conditions absolutely perfect for him, and he's powering away out in front. Sayfutinov still hasn't landed a blow. He's only got 2 points from 3 outings, and it looks like it's going to be 2 from 4. And that really means that his night is all but over. But for this man, Janowski, looking like a winner tonight.
Yes, and the flags waving, the scarves waving in the crowd. The local boy delighted and moves into the semi-finals now. That's guaranteed, a cast iron guarantee that Mats Janowski is on his way through with 3 wins and a third, 10 points, and the home fans are absolutely delighted, and quite right too.
Absolutely, and you know, he lives locally, he is very comfortable in this part of the world, has ridden for Wroclaw for some time now, and looking very comfortable. Track's fast tonight.
Mikkelsen second, Lindback third, and Sayfutinov at the back there, so it's actually Lindback's first point of the night, isn't it? And only his second point of the series so far. And he's beaten Emil Sayfutinov, so quite clearly something not working there for Emil.
Yeah, and he was fast last night, Emil Sayfutinov, so a massive shock there, because he had pace last night, Emil, and this tonight he just can't find it. And here you see the move from Janowski early on down that back straight, and he's been doing that to everybody. And Mikkelsen will be pleased after not scoring in his previous outing. It was a much better effort from him round the inside, but Janowski, well, quite clearly comfortable out in front. And the Wroclaw fans in the crowd here will be delighted with that. And the two boys celebrate as they slow down before going back into the pits. But for Maciej Janowski, well, 10 points from 12 is super in the semi-finals, looking good. Second last night. Looking like he could get a whole load of World Championship points again here tonight.
Yeah, now Max Frick, 5 points from his last 2 rides. See how he gets on here. He's got Leon Madsen off the inside gate. This fella, Artem Laguta, the talk of the championship over the last 2 nights. Magnificent last night. Madsen off the inside, Laguta off 2. Max Frick going off gate 3 in white, and Patrick Dudek goes in yellow.
Good race, and everybody beginning to find form here. Dudek much improved, Max Frick is more confident. There's no question that Artem Laguta returned to winning ways last time in a very fast time as well. But Leon Madsen, whatever they did last time, it certainly enabled him to get back to winning ways. And I like the way that Max Frick has turned his fortunes around. Has looked really impressive in his last 2 outings. So smashing line-up, here we go.
Yep. Here we go then for heat number 14, as you say, Kelv. Superb lineup. And that's a good start from Madsen off the inside gate. Nailed it there, but can he hold off Laguta? Laguta's going to try the outside run, and he's got that speed down the back straight. Here he comes now, sweeping into turn 3, but can Madsen block him out? Max Frick charges up the inside run as well, but here comes Laguta. So much speed, so much quicker. Madsen now is going to try the dive up the inside once again down the back straight. Super stuff.
Super stuff from Madsen on Artem Laguta. Laguta winding it on round the outside in the pit corner. Can he hit the front? No, he can't. Madsen squeezes him up. It's not over. Laguta's not going to give up. He's round the outside again. Does him. Brilliant stuff from the Russian. Looked like he's going to move on to 9 points now. Leon Madsen made him work really hard for that. Max Frick back in 3rd place. Certainly he's not quite up to speed as the front two, but Artem Laguta and Janowski once again showing fabulous speed out there.
And Dudek started with 5 from 2 and is now on the verge of 2 straight zeros. Artem Laguta the winner, Leon Madsen in 2nd place. Now that was a super speedway race, but you know, Laguta had got so much speed, and when he got the lead back there, he made it look fairly easy. Has to be said, when he got the lead, he pulled clear of Leon.
I'm not sure he'll say it was easy.
No, absolutely.
But he's certainly full flow, isn't he? And he was fast. Look at that time, 61.6. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Laguta, Madsen, Frick, and Dudek at the back. What on earth is happening here? There's some unpredictable score lines coming in tonight from Wrocław, and Janowski on 10, Laguta on 9, and Freddie Lindgren on 8 is how it's shaping up at the top. All about getting into the top 8, of course, to make the semis and the final.
Yeah, this is great stuff again from Artem Laguta, because Leon Madsen looked like he was in the box seat here. Ordinarily, you'd think that Madsen would win the race from here. And if there is an improvement or an advantage with the tyre, it's there. The analysts may just be picking up a bit more grip as they come out of the corners, because there's no question that Laguta is able to pass Leon Madsen, as Madsen, he replays the compliment here, but he can't put the race to bed, and last year he did. But this time Leguta's able to just keep coming at him and just can't resist it. And the Russian is able to keep moving on. Time will tell with the tyres whether there are specific conditions that suit a certain tyre, you know. And there's no doubt that Leguta looked good there, and he's got 9 from 12. And Leon Madsen, well, 5 from his last 2. That's an improvement. But for that man, and whatever you think about the rear tyre, he is in top form, and he's been in top form all season. It's just not last night and tonight. He's been doing it for his club in the Extraliga right from June.
A reminder, we're back with GP Speedway in 2 weeks' time. A week on Friday, actually, we can say now. Gorzhov, round number 3. And then 2 weeks tonight, Gorzhov, round number 4. And then we have more the following weekend. So we've got back-to-back Grand Prix weekends, 4 Grand Prix in 2 weekends.
Yeah, Prague is the third venue.
Yep, Ty Woffinden inside here. Then Jason Doyle, 2 world champions off the inside 2 gates. Freddie Lindgren, who has serious aspirations to be a world champion. He goes off gate number 3 here. And Gleb Chuganov, the wild card, going off the outside run here in heat number 15. Another cracking lineup. Which way will this one go? Can Fast Freddy nail it again from gate number 3 this time? Doyle squeezes him wide. Chuganov comes through on the inside run now. Woffinden has the lead. That's a great start. Chuganov has blocked the challenge of Freddie Lindgren. Woffinden is going to hold the mid-track run here to try and block those behind him. Chuganov second. Third is Lindgren. Doyle's piling the pressure on Freddie Lindgren now as well on that inside line. But Ty Woffinden looking really good here.
Woffinden out of gate number 2, flying away here. Got to think that they've changed the bike. Changed the equipment, looks much better here. Looks much more like his old self. Chuganov, you know, he's having a super night. He's had 3 second places, look like he's going to have 4 with Freddie Lindgren, and Doyle once again struggling out the back. 3-time world champion, the local man, Wroclaw, of course he rides here, looking like a superstar in heat number 15. Gleb Chuganov just beginning to come under pressure from Freddie Lindgren.
Look at Woffinden go here.
Fast.
Ty Woffinden of Great Britain. He's going to transform his night. He's going to move on to 8 points, and the home fans are delighted. And no doubt our British audience, or a lot of the British audience in the UK on BT Sport, will be delighted about that as well.
Yeah, Woffinden.
And time for one of these for the first time this season. Woofy, woofy, woofy.
Yeah, but Woffinden, they needed that, and his first win on the night, moving on to 8 points, as you rightly say. Got to say that Gleb Chuganov is having an outstanding night. 4 second places for him, and he's looking like he could make the semi-finals with a ride to go this evening. Freddie Lindgren in 3rd, and Doyle, a night to forget so far for him.
Doyle is going to be furious, absolutely furious.
Well, 2 points from 4 rides, that's disappointing to say the least. For this man, though, that's a turnaround in fortunes. I believe they came out on a different bike here, and he really looked like he meant business, and the bike certainly worked there. Not sure if it was a new bike or not, but whatever they did, it worked a treat.
And Chuganov blocks Lindgren here, look.
Oh, yeah. And Chuganov comes charging through there. That does Woffinden maybe a touch of a favour. Doyle working hard back in 4th place, but the Russian Gleb Chuganov certainly pushing on. And this man, Ty Woffinden, well, he'll be pleased with that, because suddenly they found some speed and he needed it. If he's going to make the final again tonight, that's the sort of form he needs.
Yeah, good ride from Woffinden. Looks super fit, doesn't he? He's been really working hard on his fitness. Hasn't really talked a lot about it this time.
He's been doing a lot of cycling in the mornings, I know that. And he said he's dropped some weight. That's all he would tell us when we spoke to him on the podcast.
That's right.
That he had dropped 9 kilos from when he kind of bulked up a wee bit after he broke his back last year. But looking very healthy indeed.
Heat 16 is where we're at now. Bartosz Zmarzlik, the reigning champion. Niels Christian Iversen, who rode better last time out. Martin Vasilik, who's really struggled for consistency tonight, only the 4 points so far. And Matti Zagar, but you know, with Matti, 2 points from 3 rides. But it's a strange one because he's already qualified for next season.
Yeah, I just wonder whether that's taken the sort of the urgency off of him. You know, to be perfectly honest, he can go through this season without doing very much. Of course, he won't want that, but there's no doubt that the pressure's not on him to motivate him to really be desperate for points. And so far in the first 2 nights, he's found it difficult to come by points. So here we go, heat 16.
Yep, Zmarzlik, he won his last outing. Can he build on that and make it 8 points from 4 rides. It's a good start from gate number 1. Bartosz Marslik nailed that, absolutely. And now he's going to pull clear down the back straight. The man in blue helmet colour here is Niels Christian Iversen, who's riding so much better tonight. Zegar tries the inside run to put him under pressure here. And Martin Vasilik, once again, struggling tonight. He's at the back of this race. Iversen second, riding much, much better. But what about Marslik, the world champion? Nailed the start and looks superb.
Yeah, after 2 disappointing rides, he is looking much more like himself. And he nailed that start, certainly, and he's looking quick in front, and he'll go back-to-back wins, and this will put him in the semi-finals. And he, like Woofenden in the previous race, is looking much more like we're accustomed to seeing. Hanging off the side of the bike working good, going forward, and everything working in harmony. Smarslik looking superb out in front. Iversen, though, picking up valuable points in second place, an improvement on last night. Smarslik, the world champion, going to win in fine style.
Yeah, there's a group of riders on 8 points now. Smarslik is one of them, and Ty Woofenden is another one in that group, and they've still got 1 race to go. And heat number 16. So that means that every rider has now completed 4 outings. 1 race to go apiece, and so good to see Niels Christian Iversen riding so much better tonight. He is also on 8 points, and after what he's been through this year,
well, that's a great return.
It's tremendous. Yeah,
really pleased for him.
Smarslik, Iversen, Zegar, Vasilik, your finishing order. Martin Vasilik struggling, 4 points from 4 rides now, as you can see. Iversen well and truly in the mix for the top 8. 4 riders on 8 points now. Janowski on 10.
Hi, my name's Bert, and I'm a big fan of supercars. It's my job to make sure everything's clean. The cars, the fuel, the track. You can't get the top performance if it ain't clean. That's why I only use BP Ultimate. Keeps the engine clean so it stays at top performance.
My housemate thought he just had a cold. When I visited Mum a week later, I didn't know I had COVID. Now she's in ICU. Together, let's be COVID safe and save lives. For more information, visit australia.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
To push yourself to the limit, you need Brute heavy-duty sweat protection. So back yourself to perform with Brute military-grade protection. Hoorah! Back yourself with Brute military-grade.
This story has got everything: revenge,
drugs, greed.
Ronald McDonald.
Somebody went to the FBI and said, guess what's happening?
The McDonald's Monopoly game was fixed.
I would say don't believe it, but it's true.
Right, point behind Leon Madsen in 5th, and then you go to the finalists of Laguta 20, Janowski 18, Lindgren 16 and Woofenden 14. Let's hear once again now from the former world champion, Chris Holder.
Well, again with me is Chris Holder. Chris, this is certainly an interesting night for sure. Ty's suddenly finally found that win that he needed, but there's no sort of one rider really standing out there. Everybody is battling so hard.
Yeah, I think the track's providing that, you know, that type of race, and so it's really difficult for anybody to just be the #1 guy every time. But I think Magic's looking really good. You know, he's #1, which is difficult after the track grade every time, and you know, he just made a great start off gate 4 and looked really fast. So good for Ty as well as Bartek to get that win. I think they both needed it, so it's going to be interesting.
What is that with Bartek and say Ty? Is that setup, or is that literally just what you're saying, sort of finding their form as they move through?
I think a bit of both. You know, I spoke to Wolfie just before, and he felt good in the race before, but I think he ran a second. And, you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of fresh air and a good first corner, get that speed up. And, you know, Wolfie was riding some pretty wide lines here, probably a bit wider than most guys, and he just sailed away. It looked good.
Okay, rain's coming down. It's not that heavy, but as a rider, what does that mean to you?
You obviously want to be keeping an eye on it a little bit, because you know, the inside's probably getting a little bit slicker now, and it's probably going to be a race for that sort of dirt line that's going to build up after, you know, a few laps. So you wouldn't be really impressed with it, but it's the same for everybody. So just focus and get on with it.
All right, thanks, Chris. See you in a bit.
No problem.
Yep, so a little bit of drizzle in the air, but hopefully that's nothing too much to worry about. We have reached heat 16, so whatever happens, we know we have an outcome tonight, a result. But I would suggest, Kelv, maybe cut back on a little bit of this and just crack on and get through to heat 20.
I think so. Heat 16 is the break-off point when we get a result. So it would be called now. It would be a result, but
doesn't look heavy, does it?
It's difficult to tell. But we had some heavy rain, I believe, overnight here. But this track and the way they can deal with it, they can They can cope with a reasonable amount of water on the track, that's for sure. But yeah, they won't want to do too much track dragging. They want to keep racing if they can. Here we go. Freddie Lindgren's bike. He's having a good night, Freddie. He's picking up some decent points after a terrific night last night. Everson much improved. 8 points for him, looking like a semi-finalist tonight with one ride to go. I'm sure he'll be very keen to do that. That'll be a massive boost for him.
Yeah, he's up against Laguta in Heat 19, along with Limbach and Doyle, who are both struggling, so there's points to be had there, potentially.
Yeah, gate 4 for him, 19. He's got to have half a chance there of at least a second place. They'll be looking at that. There you just saw the timing cover off on the Jason Doyle bike, still working hard to find something that'll just get him amongst the points, because it hasn't worked so far this evening. Grading continuing, and let's just hope this rain doesn't spoil what is building up to be a super Grand Prix. And of course Janowski's on 10 points. He leads the way. He's the #1 man right now, and he will want to continue that on if he can, and particularly as a home rider, to win here in front of his home crowd in Wroclaw will be a special moment for him. Second last night, and back it up with a win. Wow, he really puts himself in the picture. Doom and gloom there written all over Martin Vaclik. He's worked hard tonight. It just isn't working for him.
This is such a tough competition, isn't it?
Oh,
Grand Prix series.
Brutal, man. And the fine margins, Nigel, you know, the difference between winning and losing. Look what's happened to Saifutinov tonight. He looked super last night. Yeah. And this evening, he's just not doing it. And I bet the difference is tiny, tiny.
Yeah, and Phil Morris directing track grading there on the turns, but
I just didn't see Saifutinov having 3 points from 4 rides. I just didn't see it.
No. And Dudek starting with 5 and then 2 last places. I mean,
it's difficult to understand.
So inconsistent. Laguta's pit crew,
and he's dropped
bike
3
covers
points.
on.
Well, it's drizzling, isn't it? You know, so no, but you know, like Laguta's gone 3-0-3-3, and inexplicably had a last place, but couldn't make an impact. And Magic's dropped 2 points, and you know, but there's no doubt that they've just nailed it, and they're feeling good about the bikes. So things are working well for those 2 guys.
Let's hear from Ty Woffenden now.
Okay, Ty, that's what we were looking for, that win in that last heat. But you've been picking up some good points along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Yesterday, after I laid the bike down for Fred, the engine hasn't worked the same since then. It was very soft in the semi-final, the final, my first race today. So we jumped on the other bike and had a lot more speed, but still not quite there. And now we feel like we have a good setup. So another important last race from gate 4, you know, and try and get in that semi.
Okay, well, we were just talking to Chris, and he noticed that you were running a bit wider than perhaps other riders. Is that because you know this track so well?
I just felt like more comfier out there. I was trying to carry the momentum, build the speed up. My first 2 laps were garbage, so came around like gate 1. If you drift up, they come underneath you, and if you stay on the curb, they give them the chance to go around you. So it's always hard from 1, because you run around the pole, and then you've got to stop them getting the run on the fence, and then get back to the pole to cover it again. So yeah, it is what it is, but now I've got gate 4, so it's going to send it.
All right, keep it going, Ty.
Cheers.
Yeah, Ty's off gate 4 in heat 18 against Smarslik, Madsen and Mikkelsen.
Tough race.
Just a bit.
Tough race. He's going to have to be at his best there, but quite clearly from that interview, feels more confident about his setup. So let's keep our fingers crossed that that is the case. Patiently waiting now for the tractors to get off the track, and riders can then get out there. And there's just the finishing touches to the track grading, and we'll be on with heat number 17, which sees Janowski coming off the inside. Frick is improving. Zagar, well, he's okay. And Freddie Lindgren, that'll be interesting to see how he goes from gate 4. Could be quite a tear-up, but I just fancy that Janowski's got a bit more pace than the other 3, and he will be favourite for me.
Yes.
To win heat 17. It was interesting, Chris is right, you know, in his interview with Kiri. It's not always easy riding at #1, coming out on a fresh track every time. It can work for you, but it also can work very much against you. So he's done remarkably well to pick up 10 points riding in that position. The good thing is that you do have a fresh track, and certainly from the inside, when they move the material back towards the inside, it can actually be of some benefit.
Yeah, it's a good point. Obviously, they're not too worried about the rain, Kelv, because
maybe it's not very heavy.
No, they're just getting on with the tractor grading as normal, and riders ready to go, waiting patiently to get out there and do their stuff. So clearly not too much concern about the rain that's falling at the moment.
Well, let's hope that's right, and they don't pay the price for it, where the rain comes in heavier earlier on, because these guys are ready. And they're keen to get on with it. Freddie Lindgren, well, he's in this championship, no question about it. Finishing third last night, 16 big World Championship points to his name. And he's riding strongly this evening. And he'll be pushing on for the final, that's for sure. Janowski possibly looking to the heavens for the inspiration to win at home. Back-to-back Grand Prix. Bit of drizzle on the front fork cover there. So the rain is still about. And we won't want to hang around too long if we can avoid it, but riders can't be too much longer. Yeah, looks like we're going racing now, so everything being switched on, fuel, chain oiler, goggles on, tear-offs on, focus on. No, watering, my goodness.
Water and it's raining.
I find that, well, hopefully it's just a bit of tyre packing.
Yes.
And there isn't any water coming out of the back of it, but yeah, they're just packing the outside a bit. Obviously, they're just making sure the conditions are exactly what they want for the last 4 races. But it is raining, and that does surprise me. You can see the rain coming down, and they have taken their time here. I do hope that doesn't prove to be problematic a little bit later on.
Yep, so the pit gate is about to open. The riders are desperate to get out there, aren't they?
Well, because it's raining.
Yeah, Janowski riding well. Max Frick, 6 points from 4 rides, and Freddie Lindgren, 9 points from 4 rides, starting with 2 straight wins, of course. And up to heat number 17 we go, and this is how it shapes up, with Janowski on 10, Laguta and Lindgren on 9 apiece, and then a group of riders on 8 points apiece, with Smarslik, Iversen, Woffenden and Chuganov. Mikkelsen on 7, and who would have thought Leon Madsen would be outside the top 8 going into his final ride?
Yeah, he's probably going to need a win.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt on 6th place, if we see how the points are allocated with where you finish on the evening, the points you score through the heats will actually only determine where you finish, and then you're allocated these championship points, and you can win and lose. But making finals, you see the jump in points by 2. There's no question that is a massive benefit if you can be a consistent final maker.
Yep, so heat number 17, as we await broadcasters around the globe to join us. Here's your lineup for heat number 17, the final round of races for all these riders to try and get into the semi-finals. Mats Janowski's already there, no problem. The Wroclaw rider, he's off the inside gate on 10 points. Max Frick goes off gate 2 in blue, gate 3 in white, Matti Zegar, and then it's fast Freddie Lindgren going off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. Has ridden nicely tonight, looks quick when he's in front. He's a tough competitor, he knows the lines.
He does.
He's got a lot of experience under his belt now, Fredrik Lindgren.
He has indeed. He's in his mid-30s, he's super fit and desperate to be world champion. Last night he had a bit of good fortune, and he's right in the thick of the action again tonight. Janowski on 10 points, leading away. Max Frick, I tell you what, he's having a much better night. He'll be much happier about the way things are going this evening than last night. Here we go, heat 17.
Yeah, it's good to see new riders like Frick making an impact. Superb. Here we go then, heat 17 it is, and Frick's made a beauty off the inside gate. Janowski's there as well, and up the inside Zegar. Lindgren's got to come back a long way through now. There's traffic there behind Janowski. Lindgren's at the back, Zegar second, Frick third, Freddie Lindgren at the back, but on 9 points he should be okay for a semi-final spot anyway. But what about this from Magic Matsi Janowski?
Yeah, the inside gates worked a treat there. Once again, the track preparation, the track is different than the previous race. It's been watered on the inside and slippery, and the outside gate was absolutely not the place to be. And Lindgren, who has been in fine form so far this evening, cannot land a blow. Frick hanging on for 2nd place, that's good news for him. Janowski once again has cleared off out in front. He's in a class of his own. Magic really producing the magic here this evening. Got to say, feel for Lindgren here.
He's been filled in, hasn't he, with
completely
with shale.
With shale.
Yeah. And here's Janowski now on his way to victory, and he's sailing into the semi-final with 4 wins under his belt from 5 rides. A Wrocław hero, of course, and a hero still in pole where he won league titles with the Pool Pirates in the UK. But here, the local boy done good.
Yeah.
That's Maciej Janowski.
He's fast tonight, you know, that time is brilliant. Whatever they're doing there, whether it's all down to the tyre, I suggest it's not. But certainly they have got a setup that is absolutely flying, because in tricky conditions there, he has produced a stunning win and a stunning time.
Yep, super fast. Maciej Janowski, 13 points. Leguta's on 9 with a race in hand. Lindgren is on 9, and he's okay. He should be okay for the semi-finals on 9.
He'll be so frustrated there, because all of a sudden conditions have changed in that track break, and you just couldn't land a blow from the outside. It just wasn't quite the track that we had witnessed previously. All the way around the inside, the riders there. Max Frick does nicely to push on here. Sagar there initially in second place, but the Australian works nicely. And Freddie Lindgren getting a little bit out of shape, but there's nowhere else to ride. You've got to be on the inside in the first 2 laps here, otherwise you're just not going anywhere. Janowski, of course, from the inside gate has dominated proceedings in 17, and Max Frick, I'll tell you what, Max Frick is enjoying a good night now.
8 points.
8 points, and well, he might have half a chance of making the semi-finals. We'll have to wait, because it's so competitive for that. But
yeah,
for that
it's
man,
congested on 8 points
really
now.
is. Yeah, it might not be enough. But
he won't be in on 7 tonight like Freddie was last night, that's for sure.
Certainly not. But for 13 points, I get a feeling you are. So,
whatever gives you that feeling?
Well, it's just a bit of a long shot, you know, but just a hunch. But there's no doubt that 13 points out of 15, you're well happy with that. Big race here, Nige, for Woofenden.
Yep, Bartosz Marslik going off the inside. Then it's Leon Madsen off 2. He needs points, Leon, here. Gate number 3 in white, Mikael Mikkelsen. And going off the outside, number 108, the yellow helmet colour, Ty Woofenden. A good ride last time out on a different bike. 8 points from 4 rides for Woofenden, but a lot of pressure on Leon Madsen.
Madsen needs a win, really.
He does, yep. And we got the reigning world champion going off the inside gate. And Smarslik, as the world champion, by the way, goes into this heat on the back of 2 straight wins.
He does. He's improved his performance big time. Leon Madsen also has got better, and Woofenden's happy with the setup now.
Yep, away from the start, Smarslik's made a good one again. Now Woofenden is going to have to use all his racing brain here. Cuts up the inside and has already got the better of Seifeldorf. They're 3 abreast down the back straight, and Woofenden's come through in a second. Great speedway here. Look how they're all bunched up as Smarslik holds the lead right now. Woofenden second, and Leon Madsen trying everything as Woofenden tries to pass Smarslik on the inside. Super speedway.
Fabulous speedway there. Leon Madsen running wide. The outside line is not working, and then Woofenden gets himself into trouble by trying to run wide. Leon Madsen now is relegated back to 3rd place. Smarslik missing all the fireworks that are going on behind him. Mikkelsen's not out of it either. Here comes Leon Madsen once again round the outside. Mikkelsen now into 3rd place. Really good speedway at the inside, Madsen.
Yeah, Madsen through into 3rd. That'll put him on a 7. Woofenden is racing the wheels off that motorbike. He is ringing the throttle, getting every bit he can out of it. And he's ridden superbly to go on to 10 points from 2nd spot. But Bartosz Smarslik, 3 wins in his last 3 rides. He's in the semi-finals on 11, and he is back in business.
Indeed he is. He looked good there. There was all sorts of shenanigans going on behind him. No question that the track changed there after the grading. You couldn't use the outside. Woofenden tried it and went backwards. Leon Madsen tried it, did the same. Mikkelsen missing out, but for Smarslik, 3 out of 3 in his last 3 outings. That's impressive and ominous for the rest.
Mikkelsen misses the semis with that result in heat 18. 7 points. Madsen misses the semis. And a reminder, when you get in the final, that is where the new scoring system really gives you an advantage, because it's not a 1-point difference. You leapfrog by 2 points clear of semi-finalists.
That's huge, and making finals will give you a big boost. Madsen this time just not being able to generate the speed that we've seen him so often produce last year. Woofenden riding so strongly here. He came from the outside, had to work overtime to get right up alongside Smarslik at once. I thought for a moment he was going to be able to squeeze through here. It got awfully tight, but Smarslik just about recovers and finally wins relatively comfortably, the world champion, with Leon Madsen also making Woofenden's life a little uncomfortable at times. But for Ty Woofenden and Smarslik, they're through to the semi-finals relatively comfortably. But for Mikkelsen and Madsen in particular, that's a bit of a shock. Misses out this time of the semi-finals, he'll be gutted with that.
Yes, absolutely. And Leon Madsen, who was absolutely flying last season. But you're quite right to make that point, Kelv, about the 2 operations he's had. And Bartosz Marslik, I'm sure he'll be a lot happier now. Maybe a smile under that face covering. You never know.
Well, not quite yet. He's worked hard to get there, but he knows there's hard work to come. He wants 2 more outings tonight. He wants to win this Grand Prix for sure.
Heat 19, and Jason Doyle goes off the inside gate. Could do with a win. He's not going to make the semi-final, but he could do with a win. Antonio Lindback, 1 point tonight off the gate number 2 position now. Then it's Artem Laguta, gate number 3, the series leader, and Niels Christian Iversen, who has ridden very, very well tonight. 8 points he's on, and he is off the outside gate in Heat 19. So 2 races to go before we move into the semi-final stages of this 2020 Betard Wroclaw FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland, round number 2. Been some great racing, hasn't there?
Yeah, there's been some super stuff, and Artem Laguta has provided some smashing performances so far this evening. Gate 3 for him here.
Yeah, now what can Doyle do off the inside? Laguta's nailed it from gate number 3, but Doyle holding the line at the moment. Doyle loses it. That will allow Laguta to come through. Lindback's there as well. Niels Christian Iversen is at the back. Doyle is going to try the inside switch on Laguta, but Laguta's got the speed. Looks straight in front of him, and he's gathering momentum. And yeah, all 4 of them so close together there. Iversen's come through into 3rd, and that will do him nicely. And now he's come through into 2nd. Yeah. Wow, good ride from Iversen. Doyle's got it all on here to try and reclaim 2nd spot. But what about Laguta?
Oh, it's just too fast for them. It's just cleared off again. And Doyle hasn't got any speed. The bike doesn't come out of the corner. Iversen just was able to ride by him up the inside there. They were so frustrated with that. Iversen hanging on for 2nd place. That'll put him on 10. He'll be in the semi-finals. Great effort from the Dane. But Artem Laguta sweetly moving away out in front. He'll be on 12 points. He'll be delighted with that. Really looking good once again. A great start from gate 3. The Russian flying.
Absolutely brilliant from Artem Laguta. He really is going to be a serious contender for the World Championship. His first individual world title. He's fired up now. He's ready to go. He's got 12
he
points.
wants it. He wants it again. Back-to-back victories, leading the World Championship. Wow.
Yep, Iversen 2nd, Doyle 3rd, and Lindback at the back. A miserable weekend, really, for Antonio. Finishes at the bottom of the pile again. And Janowski riding superbly, and Artem Laguta on 12, just a point behind Maciej Janowski. He really nailed it from gate number 3 here, had a lot of speed.
He did indeed, and Jason Doyle was right there alongside him. Bikes lifting, bikes set up quite clearly, quite extreme, because it's reacting to everything he hits out there, battling so hard. You see there, look, all over the shop there. That kills his speed. You've got no chance then, because they're going to come charging up the inside, and Laguta does that. And then he's under pressure from that moment on. Laguta moves away sweetly in front. Iversen also was able to ride by Jason Doyle. In previous seasons, you just would not see this. He's worked hard, he's in the grip, and the other rider goes by him. The bike just not working quite as he would like. Iversen, though, his fortunes have turned right around this evening. 10 points from 5 outings into the semi-finals, and showing some really good form here this evening. But for this man, well, Artem Laguta looking like a winner again tonight. And you've got to say that Janowski, and it's almost like deja vu, isn't it? You've got Janowski and Artem Laguta pretty much dominating the Grand Prix again tonight. Great effort from them. Great effort.
Yep. Heat number 20 is where it's at. What sort of Patrick Dudek will turn up for this one? And what about Emil Sayfutdinov tonight? 3 points. He is not going to go through to the semi-finals. That's a huge disappointment. Emil, Leon, Patrick, all missing out. Chuganov on 8 points, set for a semi-final appearance as a wild card. Sayfutdinov gate number 2 in blue, Patrick Dudek gate 3, and another high-profile rider, Martin Vasilik, off the outside. He's not going to make it, so there's a lot of disappointed riders in this race.
There is indeed, and Gleb Chuganov, when he was interviewed earlier on, he was asked whether, did you change your setup? He said, well, not too much, maybe a little bit in my head. And quite clearly feeling...
What to be said for that.
Yes, exactly. And it's produced 4 second places so far, and he's on the verge of making his first Grand Prix semi-final.
Yep, heat number 20 it is then into that first turn, and Chuganov's made a decent start. Oh, my goodness me!
Wipes out Sayfutdinov. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Commentator's curse there.
Yeah, he's going to go for that.
He will, and he may just miss out as a consequence of that because he hasn't won a race. And that may just go against him. Red light on. Concern for Saifutinov as well here.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
His night's gone from bad to worse, hasn't it, Emil?
Yeah.
3 points out of 4, and then finds himself literally having a real hard fall there in the first corner with Gleb Chuganov just lifting. Maybe a small rut on the inside and just sitting back a bit early. Bike got away from him.
Wow. Fingers crossed that the boys will be okay. Looked quite nasty the way they went towards the fence there. I know it's an air fence, but it's the impact of landing on the ground and the impacts of bikes as well. Well, Emil is up.
Good news.
Yep, great news indeed.
Say it again. Chuganov makes a good start and he's on the inside. He's got that side, he's sort of leaning back there. The bike lifts, he's out of control, and they've sort of hit each other, haven't they? I think they should be okay. They haven't got mixed up with the bikes too badly here.
Well, hitting each other is better than hitting a machine, isn't it?
Just look at it closely.
That could have been a lot worse, Kel.
It could have been a lot worse, you're right. And they are a touch fortunate there. I'm sure both of them will be okay. Gleb Chuganov has probably blown his chance of a semi-final here, which is a shame for him. Because he was looking really good actually tonight, but for Emil Saifutinov, he'll be pleased when this meeting's over. I think.
Yeah,
it hasn't been his finest hour.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, Dudek. What's Dudek on, Nige? Yeah, nasty one. But what's Dudek on?
5 from 4.
So he needs a win. Will that be enough?
A second
Would that
win.
be enough?
It's all about countback then, Kelv. And confirmation then that Gleb Chuganov is disqualified from heat number 20. And Emil Saifutinov, good to see him walking back. That's the most important thing. Chuganov's getting a lift. Let's get some reaction from the 2012 world champion, Chris Holder. He is down in our pit area, of course, offering some views on the action. And we'll hear from Chris now as he speaks to our pit lane reporter, Kiri Bloor.
Chris joining me quickly, just look over that. Chris, that's really tough for Emil there. What happened with Gleb?
I think the last, probably 4 or 5 races, that inside is cutting up a little bit in both corners. And, yeah, first corner, you don't really have a lot of wheel spin going at the moment because you're just, going from the start. And he just grabbed one of them ruts and it's just, you're a passenger then. There's not much he could have done. And luckily they got off it okay. And, I think the guy off gate forward missed them just. But, yeah, it's never nice.
Yeah, they're both up and walking back into the pits now. How much, obviously Emil's having quite a good night, how much will that affect Emil as he just seasoned to this?
I don't think it'll affect him. I don't know if he's having a great night though. He needs the points, obviously I'm not sure what he's looking at for the semis or whatnot, but it won't affect him. We know that every time, so that's just an unfortunate thing, and he walked away, no worries, so he'll be fine.
All right, thanks so much, Chris.
No problem.
Well, it's good to see both of them up and about. I think Emil's night has not been his greatest night. He only has just the 3 points. So even if he wins the rerun, he's not going to make the finals tonight, the semi-finals. And concern from Artem Raguta, of course, rightly so.
Fellow countryman?
Fellow countryman, of course. They had that wonderful night here 2 years ago in the Speedway of Nations when Russian won their first gold medal on shale. They've won loads on ice. Plenty on the ice. They dominate ice racing.
Oh.
And we see that often nowadays with a bit of a rut around the inside.
Used to see it all the time years ago at Cardiff.
Yeah, well,
until they got the track absolutely spot on.
Yeah, bike just grips there and you can't do anything about it. It's a shame for Chuganov. I know he's the guilty partner here, but the fact is that last night with touching the tapes in his first race, and then tonight with this exclusion, it's probably going to cost him a semi-final. And the way he's ridden tonight, do you know what? He probably deserves to make the semi-final, but he might just miss out because he hasn't won a race. So count-back is going to be hugely important. A bit more time. And I've got to say, with Dudek started so good tonight. 5 out of his first 2. And then all of a sudden, no points from the next 2. He needs a win. Might be enough. We'll have to wait and see. But for this man, He needs to go. It's all about pride now for Emil. If he can win his last ride and then go on to Gorzhov in a couple of weeks' time and pick it up again. I'm surprised because he rode well last night and looks like he was really flying. He's been really good all season, so it is a little bit of a shock and a surprise to me that he hasn't had the pace this evening. They haven't got it right tonight for whatever reason. So for Gleb Chuganov, teammates with Woofy here, of course, a little bit of concern. A popular guy, actually, Gleb.
Yep.
He's a really popular guy.
Now, Patrick Dudek, if he wins this race, he'll move on to 8 points.
Yeah.
And he has got 2 race wins under his belt as well.
And that'll do him.
That would put him above Gleb Chuganov.
Yeah, so it might just be that, you know, Dudek could actually relegate Chuganov to missing out again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
And that race win for Max Frick in his second ride, that will help him on the count back as well.
Yeah, so Chuganov, just with the 4 second places, it might not be his evening. But he hasn't done himself any harm over these 2 nights. He's, I think he got 7. What did he get last night? I think he got 6 or something last night. And he picked up 7 World Championship points, but I think he scored 6 on the evening. And tonight with 8, well, he's done better than some big names, I'll tell you that. So he's done okay. But for this man, Dudek, pressure on if he can win. With 2 race wins to his name, all of a sudden, well, look what happened last night with Freddie Lindgren.
Well, he could qualify on 8 and then get 20 points for winning the meeting.
Exactly right. So he's far from out of it. So with the point scoring system we've got now, even if you've really had a disappointing couple of races, you can still turn it around in 4 laps. So still plenty to race for here for Dudek. Vashlik, he's had a tough night. It's not for him this evening. And Emil Sayfutdinov racing for pride. It really has been a difficult evening for him.
Thing is, Kelv, it's hard to see past Janowski or Laguta as the winner of this meeting, isn't it? It's going to be a shock if somebody else wins apart from one of those 2.
You're right, but all I would say is that they've both dropped points tonight. You know, Janowski dropped 2 in one race and Laguta ran a last, so it is possible, but they are the 4 men, no question about that. But certainly Janowski and Laguta look head and shoulders above the rest.
3 riders only, no rider off the inside. Sayfutdinov goes off 2, Dudek off 3, and Martin Vashlik going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour, only 3 points there. Top riders here who have struggled to land a blow tonight, really. Bit of a surprise. Dudek looked to have sorted whatever his problems were last night with his opening couple of rides, but this is heat number 20, second time of asking, and Sayfutdinov's made a beauty off gate number 2. He's picked himself up from an awkward looking crash. Now Dudek is in second spot, needs to pass him, charges on the inside run. Sayfutdinov holds his line. Vashlik's not done yet, he's trying the outside run. Dudek really putting the pressure on Sayfutdinov. He knows it's win or bust for the semi-finals for Patrick Dudek, but Emil Sayfutdinov is riding a nice line here, Cal.
He has, and all of a sudden we're looking at a man that's sort of rejuvenated. He's bounced against the dirt, and it sort of bumped him into life.
Just what he needed.
Just what he needed. I'm not sure he'd agree with you, but there we are. But no, there's no doubt, and it's going to cost Dudek the chance of a semi-final this evening. Vashlik again struggling for pace. He's back in 3rd place with Sayfutdinov. Pride on the line for him, the Russian rocket, looking like his normal self here. A little bit too late. Dudek coming strong, very strong in the last half of the race.
Yeah, super stuff from Emil. He's almost lost it. Does that allow Dudek through? No. Oh, it's so tight on the line.
Not quite.
Don't think he's quite got there. He knows it as well. He's shaking his head.
Not quite.
He's shaking his head, Dudek. Great effort, but Emil Sayfutdinov just losing control of the bike there.
Yeah, nearly threw it away in the last corner. I'd sort of given him the win, really, but he made hard work of it again. Just see it there running wide, and Dudek then also lifting as well, and that probably cost him because he just couldn't quite keep the throttle wide open. But Sayfutdinov winning by about half a length of the bike there. Vashlik back in 3rd place. But all those 3 riders will be disappointed with their evening's work, and they'll be looking forward.
Yeah, because they're better than that, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They're better riders than that, so...
Sure.
Matsayanovsky leads going into the semi-finals on 13. We know that Artem Laguta's on 12. We know that Bartosz Smarzlik's on 11. We know that Iversen and Woofenden are on 10 points each. The semi-finalists will be confirmed officially by the FIM very shortly.
Well, took a little bit of time, but we got there in the end. And Emil Sayfutdinov, who comes up the winner here. He looked like he had it all under control, but then Dudek, to his credit, came on strong at the back end of the race here. And Emil coming through the last corner very nearly threw it away with a mistake or a lapse of concentration. But all three of these riders have had a disappointing night, and they will be wanting to forget it and move on to Gorzów as soon as possible. More of a surprise that it's a disappointing night for Sayfutdinov when he's been in such a rich vein of form all year long for Leszno, and he looked really good last night as well. So he'll be particularly disappointed, but I'm sure he won't let it daunt him too much. But here we see late in the race, looking like he's got it under control. Bike just straightens up a fraction, runs wide, and Dudek thinks, oh, I've got half a chance, but can't quite get there. So Sayfutdinov a touch fortunate in the end. But those three boys, they'll be packing their bikes up now and heading their way back home while we await for the FIM to confirm the top 8 this evening.
Yep, Janowski 13, and as we say, Artem Laguta 12. You then have Bartosz Marslik, the reigning champion, on 11. You have Ty Woffenden on 10, Niels Christian Iversen on 10. So there's the top 5, we know that for sure. Freddie Lindgren is on 9, so that's the top 6.
What did Frick end on? 8?
Frick ended up on 8 points, and he got a win. So he's going to be in. He will be in the semi-finals. Chuganov might just make it, you know. He has. He's just crept in.
Wow.
Frick and Chuganov in the semi-finals.
Well, that's a good bit of fortune for him.
But just look at Dudek, 7 points. If he'd have won that race, he'd have been into the semi-finals on countback. Better stats than Frick or Chuganov. He would have had 2 race wins.
Costly race for Patrick Dudek.
If is a big word.
It is. And Emil Sayfutdinov, look at Doyle on 3. That's a poor night for him.
Yeah, disappointment.
But for Gleb Chuganov, you know, in some ways he deserves the semi-final. He rode well last night, missed out with the exclusion, and he's had a bit of touch of good fortune tonight, and he will be into the semi-finals, and that's good news. But 2 good lineups coming up here. Be interesting to see what gate picks the boys go for, particularly the top scorers in Janowski and Laguta. We had a semi-final last night that was to die for. I mean, semi-final number 1 last night was just incredible. And it was, you know, Sayfutdinov and Smarslik missing out. But that was a really strong lineup. But nonetheless, we are going to see some... the next 3 races will determine the winner. And could Artem Laguta win back-to-back Grand Prix? That really would have put him in a commanding position in the World Championship.
Just a little bit, 40 points from 2 meetings.
Happy days.
And that hasn't happened. The first 2 rounds hasn't been won by the same rider since 2007, Nicky Pedersen.
Wow, there you go. And he went on to win the World Championship that year. So, yes, he got off to a good start and he saw himself through to World Championship. And Artem Laguta, if he can do it, and already he hasn't sort of had, you know, the second night blues, has he, at all? No. He really has come out firing on all cylinders. It could have worked the other way. He could have been so happy last night to actually refocus this evening. May have been a problem for him, but it hasn't been. He's been terrific.
Well, we'll get the pick for the gate positions very soon from the boys for the first semi-final. And it's Maciej Janowski as top scorer, and he'd gone straight for the inside gate.
Different from last night. They were going for 2 and 3 last night, so gate 1 is the preferred one. Second up is Niels Christian Iversen. Now, this is a big move for him. Desperate last night. Gate 3 for him in the semi-final this evening. Good stuff.
Yeah, he's had a good night, Niels, and it's great to see as well.
Pleased for him.
Yeah.
Here we go. Freddie Lindgren, gate number 2. He'll be pleased with that, you know.
Yeah, he can make that work, can't he?
He can make that work. He'll be chuffed with that. And gate 4 is
Frick.
Max Frick. Good to see him in the semi-final as well.
Yes, it is.
Permanent rider, so it's good to see the younger rider gaining confidence and making his mark. And the Aussie boys, well, he's flying the flag for Australia this evening.
Yeah, he got through to a final last year. This is his 11th Grand Prix now, Max. So in the relatively early stage, it's only his 2nd Grand Prix as a fully fledged GP rider. So anyway, second semi-final. Artem Laguta. Will he go red, gate 1, like Magic did? No, he's gone 3. Right, okay. Okay.
That's what he took last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Likes that.
Yep.
I think he won his first race from there. We got Smarslick now, gate 1.
Straight for gate 1. I'll have a bit of that.
I'll tell you what, I bet he's delighted. Delighted with that.
Yeah. He's tight.
Gate 2, good lineup again here. Cool. Gate semi-final 2, a bit like last night's semi-final 1.
It is.
Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Gleb Chuganov.
Yeah. I'm not sure he wants to be in the semi-final now.
Smarslick, Woffinden and Laguta. Good luck. Good luck.
Gleb Chuganov. Great experience for him, though.
It is,
yeah,
yes.
Brilliant stuff for him. So, yeah, brilliant. And Smarslick, Woofy, Artem Laguta and Gleb Chuganov in semi-final number 2. 2 very tasty-looking races coming up.
Indeed, they are. 2 semi-finals to really relish.
How many people you reckon in? About 25%?
30%.
Yeah, 25, 30%.
A lot of empty seats. A lot of empty seats.
Yeah, I think they're enjoying themselves and they're delighted to be here, of course. I'm
Quite
sure.
right too. Privileged.
Yeah,
the sporting landscape at the moment.
Still a warm evening. Most people in short sleeve order.
Excellent.
So that's nice. Late summer warmth here in Wroclaw.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to hear from our expert pundit in the pits, Chris Holder, the 2012 world champion, very soon. So the boys for the first semi-finals getting ready, but let's get some analysis from Chris Holder.
Chris Holder back with me now. Now let's look at these semis, Chris. Magic, Niels, Freddie, Max. So out of that semi, we're probably looking at Magic and Freddie. They've got a red gate and blue gate consecutively. Are they logical choices, do you think?
I think, you know, after the track grade, for sure, the inside will probably be a bit favourable, and Magic's making good starts, and, you know, he's been out after the track grade all night, so he knows what to expect. But you never know, like, them two are going to be going hard for the first corner, and, you know, it depends what they do there. You know, you can't rule out the outside either. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, and then looking at the second semi, Artem picked the white gate. An unusual choice or right choice?
He's confident. He's making great starts, and it's tough when it comes to a semi. You know, like gate 3 might be the best, but to leave 2 good guys inside you is a big ask too. And he's obviously confident that he can do it, so we'll see.
Indeed, he did it off the final last night. So let's go to our first semi.
Yeah, it's quite a lineup as well here with Janowski, Lindgren, Iversen and Frick. It's great stuff here. Been a hugely competitive night once again. And the first semi-final coming up very shortly. Second semi-final, Smarslick, Woffinden, Laguta and Chuganov. Can't wait for these semi-finals on the way next. Semi-final 1 in Wrocław then, and the 2020 Bedard Wrocław FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland. It's Maciej Janowski off the inside, the local hero. Fast Freddie Lindgren off 2, Niels Christian Iversen off 3. Great to see him in the semi-final. And Max Frick going off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour, the Australian rider. Janowski, though, absolutely fantastic tonight. Tops the score chart going into the semi-finals.
Yeah, 13 points. Has ridden brilliantly this evening. And it will be interesting to see if gate 1 proves to be the best one. After the track grade, quite possibly will be. And once he's hit the front, there really has been no stopping for him. Max Frick on the outside with a freshly prepared track. It'll be interesting to see if the outside works from there. Might not, but if they drift wide, he could cut back. Here we go, semi-final number 1.
Yep, here we go. Big race coming up. Janowski off the inside gate has made a beauty.
Wow.
No major surprise there. Now Lindgren is in second place. Can anybody stop that front 2? The man at the back is Max Frick, and now he's charging hard to try and get the better of Niels Christian Iversen. But Magic Janowski looking superb and set to sail through to his second successive final of the Speedway Grand Prix after being here last night and qualifying and finishing second. He's absolutely tearing this semi-final apart. Janowski from Lindgren, from Iversen.
Yeah, it's disappointing for me. I'm sorry to say this, but they've overwatered the track again, and they've completely nullified the outside of the track. No chance for Frick or Iversen to land a blow here. Of course, Janowski's flying and he's going great guns, but he's cleared off in front. Just look at the dirt on 3rd and 4th, and it's really slippy, and that's a shame. But for Janowski and Lindgren, it's looking like they're going to be finalists. And for the home favourite, Janowski, wow, brilliant ride.
Janowski with a clear view ahead of him. Fantastic ride for Mats Janowski. Freddie Lindgren is in the final as well, so that's the second successive final for those two riders, Mats Janowski and Niels Christian Iversen. And in the other semi-final now, Smarslik, Woffinden, Laguta and Chugunov coming up. 61.9 was Magic's winning time, but a clear run in front of him and made it count. He was super quick there.
He was.
And he's into the final again.
Indeed he is, and he's been exemplary all night. He's just dropped 2 points from 6 outings, so he's having a great night.
Yeah, he's into his 18th final of his career and his 59th GP tonight.
Yeah.
Lindgren in second place, and that now means that Freddie is into his 37th final. For Freddie Lindgren.
I tell you what, it's working out for Freddie.
That's the wrong stat. It's his 28th final.
It's working out for Freddie, isn't it? You know, he had a bit of good fortune last night, but he's battled hard and he's made it by merit tonight, that's for sure. We see it again, the tapes are up. Janowski, well, he's won the race already. I mean, he's 2 bites clear going in the first corner. But the boys on the outside, there's no grip there. And they just can't get in the race. And that's a shame because they can't really use most of the track in the first semi-final. It'll come right as the laps go on, the second semi-final, and particularly the final. The final, I think the track will really come to them. But you can see there.
Oh wow!
You can see there where the water's gone down for the first semi-final. It's just slippy, and you just can't use all of it. So that's a shame. But for Janowski and Lindgren, they're delighted. They're in the final.
Yep. Here we go with the second semi-final now. Artem Laguta. He is going to go off gate number 3 here. He's had another great night. Bartosz Smarslik, the champion, off the inside gate. Then Ty Woffinden, the 3 times champion. Gate number 2 in blue. Artem Laguta going off gate number 3, the Russian. And off gate number 4, Gleb Chugunov, the wild card, who sneaks into the semi-final on that 8-point score, which was enough after Patrick Dudek failed to win Heat 20. That would have put Dudek in with 2 race wins.
Well, can Smarslik make the final tonight? He's ridden so well in his last 3 outings, winning all 3 of them. There's no doubt that he really has turned his fortunes around after 2 third places. Woffinden has ridden really hard, needs a big performance now. Laguta, the favourite, coming out of gate 3. Is that a risk? Is that the right place to go from now?
Here we go, semi-final number 2 in Wroclaw. And Smarslik off the inside gate has made a good one. Look at Woffinden here. Woffinden's gone high and wide into the dirt. Now he's going to try and put pressure on Smarslik. He really is going deep here. Smarslik tries to go wide. Woffinden with a chop up the inside. What a ride from Ty Woffinden. Now Smarslik's going to come back for more. Good speedway here as Chugunov loses it and Laguta comes through at the back. And now this battle up top is Smarslik and Woffinden going head-to-head, Kelv.
They are indeed. They really are having a go out in front. Smarslik is determined to get the better of the 3-time world champion. Now Woffinden hits the front. Smarslik replaces the compliment. What a race we've got going on out in front. Woffinden coming back for more. He's going to squeeze him up as they go over the start and finish line. Smarslik just about hanging on. Woffinden up the inside now. He will not be denied. Now pulls away down the back straight. What a semi-final this is.
Yeah, and that was good going into turn 3. He's gone on the inside. He's closed the door and Woffinden hangs on under severe pressure from Bartosz Smarslik. A magnificent speedway race.
Well, Artem Laguta misses out. Gate 3 did not work and found himself relegated to the back for a long period of time there. What a race it was out in front. Woffinden and Smarslik. That was proper speedway. I dare say it was speedway out of the top draw, Nigel.
Go on, lad. Oh, love it, love it. And Bartosz Smarslik into the 25th final of his Grand Prix career and his 50th appearance in the Grand Prix tonight. So it's quite a final lineup, and the home fans are jubilant because Janowski is a Wrocław rider, Ty Woffinden is also a Wrocław rider, and this is a sensational race.
Well, I've got to say that taking gate number 3 and you're giving 2 world champions the inside 2 gates was brave, and it didn't quite work out for Artem here. But this racing out in front between these two, This meant something, I tell you. This really did mean something, because really and truly, Zmarzlik didn't need to ride this hard, but he wanted to beat Woofenden. There's no doubt in my mind there was a psychological warfare going on here, no doubt about it. Woofenden coming out on top, showed great class here, and these two boys really put on a fine show. Proper speedway, top draw speedway. They cleared off out in front. Artem Laguta through in third place. He'll be disappointed after winning last night, but still a strong showing from the Russian. But for these two lads out in front, I'd like to see a repeat of this in the final. Could be quite special.
Well, it's a high-risk sport. There's a bit of trust involved between those two boys.
Well, they're two best riders in the world.
Yeah, they're throwing the bikes at each other.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a bit of racing trust between them, Kelv.
Oh, there was. It was hard but fair. And I tell you what, Woofenden was right up for it there. He knew what was going on. He looks remarkably calm, but I tell you, inside, I bet he's whirring away. But that was just an indication of what it's all about out there.
Tremendous. Really enjoyed that race. Been some terrific speedway over the last 2 nights. And it was fantastic. Really, really good. Tremendous race. Absolutely terrific.
Well, they were in a class of their own. Laguta couldn't land a blow there. He couldn't get away from gate 3. And gates 1 and 2 proving to be the right place at the right time. We saw it in semi-final 1. I mean, Janowski was so far clear off gate 1 going into the first corner in semi-final 1. The race was almost over by the time he'd got there. But Janowski, Zmarzlik and Woofenden, I tell you, that's quite a lineup. And Lindgren as well. But Janowski just seems to have a bit more speed than everybody else right now, don't you? And I think if he hits the front, I think he'll win it.
Yes, I don't think anybody will pass him if he does hit the front.
And a win and a second on consecutive nights, I mean, that'll be quite handy. That'll be 38 points.
38 points, absolutely.
Happy days.
Lindgren on 16 points, he's in the final, and Woofenden on 14, he's in the final as well. So, making finals is what it's all about. Woofenden said it yesterday, didn't he, when he was, his focus was to build and make sure he didn't have to win every race. And tonight, whatever they did, they changed their setup midway through the meeting, and it's proved to be the right way to work, and they are flying now. But favourite for me for the finals has to be Janowski. He has been superb, but you can never rule out riders like Zmarzlik and Woofenden. If they've got half a chance, they'll take it. The rain stopped. Pleased about that. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the person that has to climb those steps to change the bulbs in the floodlights.
I'd want to be paid an awful lot of money.
Well, I just don't like heights.
No, not all the money in China, mate. I wouldn't be up there. No, they are very high indeed, and they're fabulous lights. Look how well lit the stadium is.
Brilliant, yeah.
There's no dark patches on the track there, I can assure you.
No, that's right.
But no, patiently waiting now for what is going to be a fabulous final, I'm sure. And
no, they're not quite as good as my old Subbuteo floodlights, but they are impressive.
Yeah. Close but no cigar.
The trouble is the batteries used to go regularly on Subbuteo floodlights.
Yeah, didn't have Duracell in those days, did they? No.
Other batteries are available.
Here we go. We're waiting for the lineup. Here we go.
Janowski,
got to go gate 1, surely.
Well, he did in the semi-final.
Yeah, here we go. Janowski off the inside.
Yep. Never in doubt, really, was it?
Never in doubt.
He was just teasing us.
He was.
Here's Ty.
Gate 2. No. Gate 2, yeah. Had to be.
He's just teasing us as well.
Had to be gate 2. Gate 3 for Zmarzlik, yeah. And gate 4 for Lindgren. So
I'll tell you what, Freddie from the outside, could do something out in the dirt.
Yeah, he'll have to have a bit of good fortune. If the track's dried enough, Nige, he might be able to slingshot right around the outside. If not, it's got to be the turn back. Because in the semi-finals, the inside line was working well on the first corner. But Woofenden, I think, will be more than happy to have gate 2. And Zmarzlik, well, gate 3, he's going to have to do something. We saw with Artem Laguta, he found it difficult from there, and he's probably been making some of the best starts. But Janowski off the inside, he's going to take some beating, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so got the final to come. Fans really enjoying it here.
finalists being announced in the stadium, which is getting a great reaction. Of course, Janowski is going to be a fan favourite. So is Woofenden. He rides here, of course, but with Janowski being Polish and living here, of course, they're going to be partisan behind him, and they're very loyal to their own. And they've been well entertained. These have been 2 smashing meetings to start the series. They really
it's been
have.
great. And Gorzhov's a good track in a couple of weeks as well, Kelv,
the venues are great.
Yeah.
The venues are terrific, and the racing will be really good all the way through to Torun in October. There's no doubt about that. But you just sense that they are just... This place could get very excited if Janowski wins the final, won't it? I think there'll be 1 or 2 people getting very excited. I think he already is, that fella.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it, you know, when crowds are allowed back into football grounds and they're going to be told, please don't shout and cheer.
Really?
In the UK, yeah. That's the talk. Please don't cheer, please don't shout and sing.
So what's the point of going back in the stadium then?
Just got to sit there and watch the football. And
you can do that at home.
Yeah.
OK.
Anyway.
So that's moving swiftly on.
Let's not get too in-depth about that.
No,
Cal.
that seems ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm pleased that they're shouting and screaming here, because it makes a bit of atmosphere. And Janowski just deep in thought, focusing, just trying to maintain his concentration, because he's got 4 laps to prove himself a winner again on the Grand Prix stage. He's done it before. He's won on big nights as well. Winning in Cardiff is a big one.
Yeah.
Having that on your CV, I tell you, that's pretty special. Teammates, a wry smile, but they're going to go head-to-head here. There's not going to be too much love lost when they get to the tapes, that's for sure. They're chasing the ultimate prize, the World Championship. It's what they all want. There's 2 in the race that have done it. There's a reigning champion, a 3-time world champion.
Brilliant.
And 2 men that are desperate to do it. Lindgren's been trying a long time. Janowski's been around a while as well. What a lineup, Nigel.
Yeah, superb. Can't wait for this. A fitting finale, I think it's fair to say, here in the Olympic Stadium of Wrocław. Just awaiting the clearance for the pit gate to open. The boys just want to get on with it, don't they, Kel?
Yeah, they're keen. And there is a bit of a delay. I don't think there's been any track grading this time. Generally, there isn't prior to the final. But there's something going on that we can't quite see there. So the goggles are coming off. Phil Morris is there. The race director just not quite sure what's going on. We can't see it. We're not focusing on the track. We're just...
Don't know.
Not sure. So anyway, they're having to be patient. So are we, and so is everybody at home. So apologies for that.
Maybe they're just giving the crowd a chance to go and get the hot dog or a beer.
Well, you never know. A bit of revenue can come in handy these days. But no, here we go.
They're not bad, the hot dogs at Wrocław, actually. Not too bad.
Tell you what, sometimes in Poland they can repeat.
They can be a little bit.
They can repeat on you.
When you're not accustomed to them.
No, they are character building, say that. But here we are. No, guys having to be a bit patient. This is not what you want. You want to get on with it. You know, you've battled hard. There's some tough customers out there. Lindgren probably the toughest. He's been putting himself about the last couple of years. He's so keen to be world champion. Rode his luck last night. Forced his way into the final, finished 3rd. That was a great effort from coming from nowhere. He's in this championship. He's got 2 consecutive finals.
Oh, the 2 minutes time allowance is now on. Well, that's all well and good.
Yeah, I don't know why
they've been waiting there for 3 or 4 minutes.
We don't know why that was, but patience is a virtue. Not one of mine, unfortunately, but there we are.
Really? Really?
No, it's not. I'll fess up to that one. I'm not patient.
No, I know.
I think I might have had a word to say. Anyway, the boys are at tapes, and this man is the favourite, and he's ridden superbly well, and there's no doubt that it's going to be a tear-up, that's for sure.
Ty Woofenden, 11 GP finals. Artem Laguta didn't make it, of course. Janowski in his 18th GP final. Freddie Lindgren in his 28th. Bartosz Smarslik in his 25th GP final. Plenty of experience here. Mats Janowski on the inside, Ty Woofenden on 2, Bartosz Smarslik off 3, Freddie Lindgren off 4. The points scored so far are now irrelevant, because whatever happens, 20 for the winner, 18 for second, 16 for third, And the man who finishes last gets 14 Grand Prix points. So the points accumulated so far are irrelevant. That said, Maciej Janowski has got 6 wins out of his 7 rides.
He has, and you know, he'll be gutted if he doesn't win. He is the form man coming into the final, but still got to do it. But 14 points for coming 4th is still no poor return. Woofenden got that last night. He'll be looking to improve on that. He will want to win here. He'll want to lower the colours of Zmarzlik, but he'll also want to get the better of his teammate as well, Janowski. He won't want Janowski stealing the limelight here. And both very popular here, Woofenden and Janowski, no question about that. But there's no, you know, the championship on the line, and Woofenden will want to win and get himself right back in contention. Zmarzlik, the champion, hunched over the handlebars. Here we go for the final.
Yep, great lineup. Which way's it going to go here? Green light on. And away from the start, Janowski's made a good one. Woofenden is going wide here, and now that allows Lindgren the opportunity to sneak up the inside. Woofenden's got speed. Now he's going to try the outside run on his better Wroclaw teammate. And Janowski holding the lead. Zmarzlik is third. Lindgren's gone to the back. But Maciej Janowski looking superb. Wins this. He'll be on 38 Grand Prix points and will be the new leader of the championship. Woofenden, wheel in the air. Is time wasted? Get it back down, boy.
Done Janowski a favour. It killed his momentum, and now he's clamped Zmarzlik on the line. Janowski's got it. That lifting down the back straight from Woofenden really put his pay to his chances tonight. Pretty much gifted the win to Janowski, barring mechanical failure. Looking good, made the start, down the back straight. Looked a little bit nervous, but he's pulling away. Zmarzlik hanging on in third. Freddie Lindgren relegated to 4th, but Janowski, the night is going to belong to him, Nigel.
It's going to be his 7th Grand Prix win of his career. He's going to take up the lead in the World Championship. 38 points now for Maciej Janowski. Woofenden bags 18 points for his 2nd place, so he moves on to 32 points. He's in the title hunt, all right. Make no mistake about that. But the local hero has won the meeting. He grew up in Wroclaw. He's loved all around the area. And look what it means to the fans. Maciej Janowski, so popular at Poole Pirates. He's had spells at Kings Lynn Stars and Swindon Robins as well. A magnificent performance.
Yeah.
And great to see Woofenden congratulating him. Class act.
Yeah, class
both riders.
Both riders indeed. Of Wroclaw 1-2. The fans are loving it, Nige. And I tell you what a performance tonight from Maciej Janowski. Only dropped 2 points in 7 outings. Outstanding. There is a reaction from family in the crowd as well. His mother quite clearly overjoyed to see his son have 2nd place last night and come through with a win this evening. Wonderful scenes, and great that people in the stands can enjoy this moment with him.
What a dream come true.
It is a dream come true. And can we see now Janowski really push on to try and win his 1st World Championship? He's been in this position before and has then slipped away, but for Janowski tonight, a wonderful performance.
20 Janowski, 18 Woofenden, 16 for Zmarzlik, puts him on 27 Grand Prix points. Lindgren on 14, puts him on 30. So a productive night for Freddie Lindgren and for Zmarzlik,
far from out of it, and they've certainly, the making finals is going to be what it's all about. Replay, here we go. What a start. He's hunched over. Woofenden dropped the clutch as well. None of them missed it. They all wanted it, and Lindgren decided not to go around the outside, the best move, and he just about gets himself into 3rd place, but Zmarzlik works hard. At this stage, Janowski's got away, but then Woofenden comes on strong, really strong. You can see him building the speed, moves to the outside, and I thought for a moment he was going to have half a chance at hitting the front. But as they go down the back straight for the 2nd time, he lifts. And that really does kill his momentum and probably gives the... that's the moment. That's the moment that really hands the victory to Janowski and means that Woofenden can't win. And then it's all about hanging on for 2nd place. In actual fact, when you see it in slow motion, it's all about hanging on to the bike. But a wonderful bit of motorcycle skills from Woofenden, but a great moment and an emotional moment for Maciej Janowski tonight.
Here's the standings. Janowski 38, Woofenden 32. Didn't see that for very long, but anyway, there we are. Maciej Janowski celebrating on one wheel, and why not? Enjoy the moment, Maciej Janowski, on his in his own backyard.
I hope he's got tomorrow off so he can have a real good time with his family, because, as I say, a local boy, and is very popular here, and fully deserved win. He has ridden superbly over the last 2 nights. Second last night, winner tonight. That is what dreams are made of, and what a wonderful way to start this year's championship for him and for the whole series. It really has been 2 super meetings. Congratulations to all involved, Nige, because so good to see World Championship Speedway out there, and at such a high calibre of racing. It's been great.
Yeah, it's just such a good feeling to get the Grand Prix back up and running, and, you know, to be shouting and...
You imagine those people not being encouraged not to shout. I mean, that's ridiculous. This is what it's all about. Passion, sound, enjoying the moment. And these people are delighted to see a home victor.
Yeah, such a lovely fella as well, Matsyanovsky. What very, very polite. Every time he sees us around the Grand Prix circuit, he makes a point of coming over and saying hi. Top man. Obviously, he knows us from the UK anyway, but such a great guy. He used to turn up at British meetings in an Arsenal football shirt, I recall.
Well,
yeah,
there you go. But no, it's been a great performance from him, and he'll be desperate to try and keep this form going in Gorzów, so congratulations to him.
Well, I don't need to say your name because they are chanting it for you. Congratulations. It's the win you wanted. It's the win they wanted.
Yeah, you know, that was an amazing night. Thank you to my team because they've done amazing work today. It's really hard to race on your home track, but today I feel so much focus in my head, and I was ready and prepared for the hard racing. So thank you for all the fans. Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim. Kurde, to było niesamowite, bo tak naprawdę wyjeżdżałem i cały czas słyszałem, jak skandujecie moje nazwisko. Nie, szczerze mówiąc, z mojej perspektywy nie do końca mi to ułatwiało, ale dziękuję wam bardzo, byliście niesamowici.
Congratulations, Magic.
Yeah, dziękuję.
Yep, well, they do. It is a request that they speak English in the interview, of course, but when you're in your home backyard, it's inevitable you're going to slip into your native tongue and address your home fans.
Of course, that's what they want as well, so you can't blame him for that. But fantastic performance from all 3 this evening. Woofenden certainly giving himself a great opportunity for a
of the FIM Speedway Grand Prix stayed in the Olympic Stadium in Wroclaw after the